Hiya, it's Friday, Cali Freedom Friday. We're a little bit erratic, so
Scrap.
you're getting a different scrambled, etc. So you're getting a different angle, and now I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you about, why we're here. So welcome to the Mankinder Proactivist Support Network, Strength in Numbers, providing world-class media, music, movement marketing of joy, love, and freedom to exit and build our parallel economy, health, food, and communication systems. Kinder communities for mankind worldwide from California. And I'm going to throw it to Orit for our invocation.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Whether you're here live with us or will be watching later on, we welcome you. We are grateful that you're here. Let's all take a nice full breath together, filling our lungs with air, with oxygen, with joy and love. Exhaling love through our hearts, spreading that love all around us. And one more, inhaling fully all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. And exhaling light, love, joy, kindness. Let's call on Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth, to hold us as we have another conversation, a beautiful conversation, moving our agenda, our positive, beautiful agenda of peace and kindness forward, calling on all the medicine that are held in the belly of Pachamama to be with us here today, calling on the heavens, Creator, Great Spirit, Great Mystery, God, whatever you want to call that entity that is all us, essentially, to be with us, to channel wisdom and beauty through us. And let us add a little prayer for the healing of the world, the healing of all the beings, the creatures, the earth herself, the plants, the trees, all the animals, healing and connection, connecting to one another, that we may see this world turn into a beautiful, beautiful heaven. And so it is.
Thank you,
And,
Orit.
oh, you're welcome. Michael, you seem to be frozen. No, you're not. You're back.
Hiya, ya. So, sorry for anyone who's tuning in now, and well, there's nobody watching according to the meter, but we got started a little late, so I hope we didn't scare anybody off. It's been a kind of a scrambly week. Anybody else have any thoughts on the scrambly week?
Scrambly, very
most
trying. Yeah, very trying. Yeah, I guess Spirit Creator decided to test our resolve.
For those who don't know, I have a favorite astrologer. I always say my favorite guide since 2007, Christopher Witecki. Namaste today, Serious Joy, and every Friday he is live at 5 o'clock and that's part of why we start at 6, so I can listen to him at 5 o'clock. And it's not just us; it's out there. So,
Everybody.
yep. So, I've been webcasting since like 2013 when I actually started, and not regularly. Throughout the 6 years of Mankinder, we've been mostly very irregular, and sometimes I was letting stuff even get me down. Someone that we were collaborating with didn't really deliver what was promised or whatever, and so that series, a particular Tuesday night thing or Thursday night thing that we were doing would just come to an end without an explanation. And that's not how you build a following or a movement or a brand or anything big. You have to have consistency. Something was always nudging at me to do Friday evenings. And so we started officially March 1st. And I'm answering Laura the Bruce's question about what is this thing? What are we doing? And so I started just with Orit because she was, for the last few years, the one regular, reliable, genuine supporter person that was crazy enough to be available. And every week we added one more person. It was really neat. And then we ended up with the 5 of us as regulars and some other folks that pop in and out. So I hope that I read at the beginning a reasonable overview of the intention and mission. And we will, of course, improve and expand. And the whole point of Mankinder is that we're here to serve. We're here to serve. We live to serve. To me, Mankinder is kind of an empty box, and that is comprised of the elements within that we support and collaborate with. So first in my mind was Renette Senham's Save Our Skies. And so I wanted to collaborate with her. And we said that on a particular big interview that we did from friends in Canada. Long story, but that was, I think that was the end of April. And so I named a bunch of organizations that we wanted to promote. And here we are. We're focusing mostly on Save Our Skies at this time. But there's so much more that we intend. And I've said to Renette, I hope that, because we're on the same page on every topic, so I hope that we can do those other things with Renette also. And I'll yield and try to get rid of the echo over here.
Meanwhile, hi,
How did
Amy.
everybody get through?
Listening.
How did everybody get through the heat wave last week?
Well, we're here.
Yep. We made it through.
Yeah.
My car broke down. My car broke down that day. So I dealt with 111 degrees in a broken down car and walking to a gas station and all kinds of amazing things. So I'm still here. The universe is throwing some stuff out there at us that it's testing us. That's for sure. Just testing our resolve and our character and our integrity and our strength and our courage in the face of chaos. If we can find the joy in the chaos that's happening right now, then we'll make it through. So
I think I've gotten rid of the echo. If you were hearing it, I don't know. Did anything I say resonate or make sense to anyone?
Oh yeah. Yes.
yeah.
Laura, did that answer your question?
Well, somewhat, yes. I mean, I'm getting a little clearer idea. And fortunately, I didn't have to deal with the heat wave, which is one of the reasons that I moved to Olympia.
I'm sorry, you're distorting just a little bit. You didn't have what?
I didn't have to deal with the heat wave.
You didn't have to deal with a heat wave?
Yes. Which
Your
is
voice
why
is a little distant from microphone. If there's any way you can come closer to microphone, it might help. I don't know
Yeah,
if it might be just me.
Is everybody else? Is it distorted for everyone else?
Not so much.
Sometimes.
I still think it'll be clearer if you're closer. But Michael,
Well,
there's still that feedback loop, that echo.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I will have to move back into my desk chair in order to get closer to the mic. Damned inconvenient. So I lived in Texas all my life, so I'm done with the heat. I said, I'm moving to the Pacific Northwest because I'm done with the heat. I've sweated all my little sweat glands want to sweat. And so, yeah, now my brother teases me and calls me a wussy now because I can't deal with the heat. But
So where are you right now?
I'm in Olympia, Washington.
Washington. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and, Washington has its heat points, but not in Olympia. We're very benign here. Of course, we get a lot of rain, and I'm okay with that. Sweaters, boots, scarves, I'm good. I've done enough T-shirts and trying to stay cool thing. But, so I guess, too, I would kind of like to know, I guess, since we've got a small group, what everybody does and how, maybe a little bit about your philosophy or what you want to accomplish, what your mission is, that kind of thing. And anybody that would like to speak, or I can
I'll start. Okay. So I'm located in Agora Hills, California, which is pretty much on the county line between Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Whoa, someone is making a lot of noise. What I do is trying to save my business, which was put on life support by the lockdowns and everything, and recently by the inflation and high prices of everything, because it seems like people are not spending money right now. So I'm a shamanic practitioner, healing practitioner, teacher, mentor, and certified craniosacral-therapist. And I'm very passionate about my work, but it's not really doing much of anything right now. So I double as a nanny because I've always loved working with babies. So it's kind of natural for me to do that. It's not my favorite thing at my age. It's hard work, but that's what I do to survive. Mission. My mission is to spread love in the world. That's my main mission, has always been my mission. So to do that, I work on embodying love, because when you don't embody love, you can spread it. So I meditate every day on love, bringing love in, spreading it all around me. My dog is great help with that because they are all love. So we snuggle in the morning in bed, unless an earthquake throws us out of bed, which happened yesterday, literally. Um, and my mission is to collaborate with anyone who has the same ideas as mine, that this world needs and can be a world of peace and love and beauty and all good things. And I yield.
That is very kind of you. Yeah. It's the little ones. How old are the ones that you keep? The nanny ones?
I right now I have a 9-month-old baby that I don't see very often, but still, and I have a 7-year-old autistic nonverbal child that I see almost every day, and get him from the school bus and feed him and play with him and stay with him until mom comes home from work.
Nice. That must be a relief for her.
Oh yeah. We get along really, really well, the kiddo and I, and on his average to good days, he always has some days that are not optimal, but that's the name of the game. So we just do whatever we can do to keep him happy and healthy.
Nice.
Yeah. And to teach him to communicate.
And as I mentioned,
Actually, he can teach us to communicate, but to teach him how our society communicates. Yeah. So he can.
Best we can do.
Yeah.
Best we can do since we forgot our non-verbal language.
Exactly, and he knows that, but he probably also knows that we don't know, we don't remember that way. So yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and good luck with all that. Yeah, I know it was very difficult for a lot of people going through what we've been through, harder than others.
Yeah.
Orit, did you mention shaman journey?
I said I'm a shamanic teacher and mentor and
Good.
And healing practitioner, and my website is shamansjourney.net if anyone is interested.
Beautiful. And the other thought is that another thought is that as focus on love occurred to me to come up with off the top of my head the idea that kindness is love in action, and I looked it up, and sure enough, I'm not the first one to say that, so I get to give credit to the actual author of that, and we're going to be pushing that phrase out there, because a lot of people are very at a distance. Oh yeah, I love him, but I never want to see that guy again. Send him love from a distance.
You're breaking up really bad, Michael.
Michael, you come through very short. Maybe you want to use the other device.
Okay.
For audio.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, Reed, did you say shamanic healing?
The website, Shaman's Journey. Shamansjourney.net.
So I can share unless somebody else wants to. Move forward. Can everybody hear me okay now?
yeah.
Yes, you're good. You're clear. Yes.
Yep.
So when I came to Washington, it's been 7 years ago, I kind of had a lot of deaths in the family, and finally everybody stopped dying and was doing okay. So I said, behave, I'm leaving. Got a little bit of money from my dad's estate, just enough to get me here, basically. Didn't know what I was going to do when I got here. I didn't know where I was going to go. I had some cousins that live in the Portland area, so I kind of thought I would end up in Oregon. Was kind of targeting that area, but for some reason I ended up in Olympia, Washington, and did an organization business for a while. Called myself the Queen of Organization, and did that for about almost a year, I guess, along with some other things. Got a job with a real job with the Washington State Chamber of Commerce, which is a legislative entity. Learned way more about politics than I ever wanted to know. Was working in the membership department, selling memberships for that. Rocking along, making some good money. Had 401k, the whole thing, insurance. I mean, a real job. And then COVID came to town, and they sent us all home to work. And so that was great. I was happy to be at home, and worked for them for a little over 3 years. And I met a fella named George Wiseman through a podcast. I heard him speak, sent him a note, and I said, "Sounds like you need some help. Don't know what you need. I don't need a job, but I have a lot of skills. And how can I help you?" And he says, "You may be the answer to my prayers." And I went, "Oh God." And he had started a website, an informational website, to help with all the censorship, to find information because there was so much censorship going on. And so he pretty much handed the project over to me and said, "Here, it's your baby." Long story short, for 2 years I worked for him. We came up with a website we're calling awakenednexus.com that is, like I said, a resource informational website with as much information as I could cram on it, and it still needs more. In the meantime, I started my own website and found the name Reloading the Matrix was available, so I grabbed that and put my personal writings on that. So I've got 2 different websites, and discovered along the way, I always knew I was a good writer, but I discovered that I was a really good writer. And so now George had to stop funding the project, and so I've been kind of searching around for my next adventure, and looking at ghostwriting and some different things like that. There's some pretty good money in that, I think, to get into the right things. And so I don't know what's next, but I need to get something going pretty soon. So if you know anybody that needs a writer, or maybe like an editor, copywriter, help with their website or with whatever, my understanding is anybody with a business of any sort or a podcast usually needs ghostwriting. So that's part of it. That's part of what I'm here for. Other than that, I'm here to save the planet. That's my mission. Yeah.
Well, I suspect the planet will be fine, maybe even better without us, but we are here to save the human world as well.
Yes. Save society if I can. And I say that tongue in cheek because, everything is in order, I suppose. So I guess my biggest mission is, how do I enjoy being here while I'm here? I would like to enjoy life a little bit better than I have been. So that's one of my challenges.
Aho to that.
Oh, to that, I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree wholeheartedly. And
A
then
fellow
that's awesome.
Washingtonian has arrived on the scene.
Hola.
Hola.
Smith.
Angela, you want to go next?
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I just didn't know if she was done talking or not, or somebody, I was like, was somebody going to talk? Nope. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Is she still there, isn't she?
Yes,
Must be.
just off screen, but yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. You're a ghostwriter then, Laura. That's awesome. I might need some of that some of that assistance myself, maybe for some ghostwriting. I don't know, do some collaborating.
Yeah, we can.
I do a lot of things. Yeah, for sure, definitely. I do a lot of different things right now. I am my paid job is a gas station attendant.
That's right.
But I yeah, that's how I get my income at the moment. But I'm working on creating my own business and my own website and doing different things. I'm an intuitive guide, networking person. Um, I do a lot of mystical things that most people don't understand. Or, I don't know. They might understand. I don't know. But I do a lot of different things. I'm promoting, Save Our Skies and a lot of the other things that I have a heart into, because things need to be stopped. I was a newspaper editor. I don't know. There's so many things that I've done. It's kind of crazy, but my mission is to help people. And help people go through this transition that we're going through. The earth's shifting. We're all shifting. Things are changing. We have to carry love in our hearts. It doesn't mean we have to be doormats for anyone. But, we have to do that. We have to have this passion that we have to have. We have to start taking care of the planet. We have to stop. We have to use our voices and our stuff to stop this stuff. Because if we don't do that, then nothing's going to happen. But if we stand up and start doing some things like that, things are going to happen. So I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that. Another one of my missions is to build healing centers for people to come to heal, so they can, do all the different things, plants, music, arts, that kind of stuff, bring people back to nature. And I don't have any idea how I'm going to do that either, but I know it's going to work. So I am one of the newest members of Mankinder. By the way, I'll give you a little bit of a story. When I came into the Mankinder network, when I met Michael, I met him through another friend, and then I met Orit and Asmith and Chris Toussaint. Chris actually came and visited me. I was having some issues. I was actually running 3 companies and an editor of a newspaper. So for the same businessman, and I was his personal assistant. It came to the point to where I couldn't go to work there no more without getting physically ill. So thank goodness for Michael being able to help me write some very amazing professional replies to this gentleman. Asmith was there. Anyway, Mankinder's been there for me to help me transition away from this. And transition away from this gentleman. And without their community support, don't get me wrong, I would have done it anyway. However, it was done in such a way that it was so beneficial for me, and it was beneficial for the person that I was transitioning away from as well. So it was in a we did it in a Mankinder way, did it in a kinder way, because I don't know how to just walk up to someone and say, hey, you're a blah, 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 blah. And, you want to do it in a compassionate way. So we did it in the right way. And, me and this person we can still be kosher together. We can still be in the same community together and not hate each other, because it was done in the right way. I learned my lessons from going through that. Don't get me wrong. There are some things I had to learn and I had to heal. But without having a community support like I had, that transition coming away from that gentleman, I don't know if I would have done it as kindly as what I did. And it was amazing. So I am very, very thankful for that. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to collaborate with people. We're here to bring new people out to the community. We're here to promote SOS to the skies. We're here to, bring that information out there. People can, do with it what they want, but they don't have that information and they don't have that support in that community. Then what kind of world are we living in? Because that's what we need as a humanity. If we want to save this planet, we need that community. The planet needs that community. We need to come back together and do things like that for each other. So that's my mission. That's my mission. Trust me, I can go on for a long time. I've had lots of stories, lots of things happen to me, but that's my mission, is just bring this world together. Let's work together as a community. We can do this. We're smart enough to save this planet. We're smart enough to fix everything that we messed up. And the planet's here to help us. So let's just do it. And that's just me. So
Now, there
I
are
have some
forces
very
unseen.
unique skills.
Yeah, there are forces unseen
Go
that
right
will
ahead.
show up once we show up.
They're already here. That's the thing. They're already here. Okay,
Yeah.
they're
But
already here. We
have
just
to
have to
show
keep
up.
an open mind and an open heart, and keep that love in there, because they're already here to help us. They've been here. You know what I mean? They're here already. You know, we have so much help. All we have to do is ask, and it's here for us. So, you know, I have some amazing gifts that I would have been blessed with. So, I'm I intuitively know things. I can sense things. I can feel things. You know, that most people usually they just brush off. They don't pay any attention to. So, I don't. My body doesn't give me a choice. I don't have a choice anymore. I get to pay attention even if I don't want to. So, which is really, really amazing. I get the both sides of it. So, but it's beautiful. So that's another one of my missions too, is to let people know that there's, you know, there's some amazing things out there that can happen if you just take a step back and take a breath and go, oh, that's what that was. You mean the plant reached down and touched me and gave me a hug? Really? Plants do that? Yeah, they do that. So they really do that. They really, really do. Yeah, you just, you know, you just get in your, yeah, they really do. I've had it happen to me many times. So
well, maybe we should set a time to
animals
get together.
too.
Maybe we should have a chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Absolutely.
So
does she know Chris and Azimuth? Probably not.
No, Chris, you want to go next?
Oh,
Yeah,
I was trying to vouch
started
for
talk-
Laura that she's an excellent writer, and thank Angela for everything you just spoke. And I'm going to do things this way with my phone for now, for today, and I'll have some good news for you guys after you guys all speak. Thank you. Sorry for cutting you off, Chris.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, I think I mentioned to Laura before before we hit the record button on this event that I am a filmmaker who is kind of like moving away from that. I'm partially retired, and I'm doing a little bit of it on my own right now for projects that I feel good about. And a number of those projects are nonprofit oriented and have to do with health freedom, things of that nature. When the pandemic hit, I was healing from third stage non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I joined a group that was the California chapter of the Children's Health Defense, which is later broke off into a couple of other groups that I'm still supporting. And so I've had a strong health freedom orientation. And by health freedom, basically, I'm talking about bodily autonomy, our ability to choose what medicines, what procedures we want to have. And, you know, when the mandates came out, I said, this is totally wrong. And I knew it. And I teamed up with other people to fight that. And I'm still doing work for some of the legal teams that are going through the court system to roll back a lot of these executive mandates that were very unconstitutional. So at this point, I decided I didn't want to be in LA anymore. And so I've been on a quest for about 3 years to find an intentional community where I could grow food and become more involved in regenerative agriculture, in living off the grid as much as possible, growing our own food. And I found a community that I'm now part of that I just moved to like 13 days ago. And I'm very happy here. As you can see behind me, I have my own space dedicated to what I want to do. I can turn the camera around and show you a little bit of my view, which is pretty nice. That's the main house right there, And this is a lemon tree, and I picked a couple of lemons today from that. Down below, you could see a doorway leading into the outdoor, one of the kitchens, the outdoor kitchen. And there's some majestic old pine trees and oak trees here. It's just an incredible space. The people are very conscious. And so I'm totally happy to be invited to live with them. And it's affordable, which is important, of course, in these runaway inflation days. So I feel that this is a part of my ongoing mission here, which is basically from many, many years ago, I learned was to help facilitate the unfolding of the beginning of the Aquarian age of, 1,000 years of peace, that type of thing. All the things that have been prophesized about this time. And of course, we're going through the birth pangs of such a radical shift. And all the major institutions, as you know, are starting to implode. And one of the main reasons I'm here is to share with my video work the kinds of solution-oriented, positive options that we have actually as humanity to not just survive, but actually thrive. In fact, I contributed some of my video work on a film I made called Free Energy, The Race to Zero Point, to Foster Gamble's first movie, Thrive.
You're freezing up, Christopher.
And that's really why there's here. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
there, everybody's back.
you froze up for a minute.
You're back.
Yeah, you had that. Okay.
You're back.
So I really feel my mission here is aligned totally with the goals and the vision of Mankinder. And I wanted to serve in any way I can to be a support, especially when we start ramping up and getting into doing events and other videos and things like that, where I can contribute my talents. I have a lot of my own equipment stored way back in the closet back there, ready to go anytime we have something to shoot. And now that I'm in San Diego, I'm getting the lay of the land and interacting with different groups and finding out who's doing what, because there are a number of different eco-villages and intentional communities here in the San Diego area. And I didn't find that at all when I was in LA. There's like about 2 in LA, one's in Topanga and one's in downtown LA. And that's about it. So I'm finding much more of a sense of community, which, because of the isolation we all felt, of course, during COVID, but even afterwards, I felt that I wanted to be with people and be in teamwork situations to do greater things. So I'm going to be doing more of my organic gardening here and, helping out the community in other ways. I'm kind of like their elder at this point. I just turned 71 and
You froze again.
most of the people here are dynamic. They're very energetic. I am on a Wi-Fi connection. I'm not as stable as I was in LA with the Ethernet connection. So I am on a Wi-Fi situation. So that may be on my end. I'm not sure.
Sometimes what
We've
you can
been
do is
experiencing that throughout this broadcast.
sometimes if you turn your video cam off, it will improve your connection.
Yeah, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It only happened twice, so it's we've had worse.
And I'm about done with what I've had to say anyway, so take it.
Beautiful.
Asmith, you're up. And Steve has joined us too.
Yeah, hi Steve. Asmith, you want to go next? We're just
Hi, Steve.
introducing
Hi.
ourselves.
Yeah, I can do that. And you'll have to enjoy the background of me setting up a ton of lines tonight. The work never stops for us, especially when harvest season comes. I take it we're introducing ourselves to Laura. Howdy, Laura. My name is Asmith Kaminsky. Run a company. I call it more of a family, Science Under Nature. We're a health and supplement brand, and we create cannabis products, mushroom products, import other ingredients and plants from around the world. Burgeoning herbalist, looking into alchemy a lot more. We got a wonderful farm and garden up here in Snohomish, Washington. And we've been breeding for a bunch of years, and you're catching us right during harvest season. So I've got to start pulling all the hemp down and
Look at this
processing. They're gorgeous. It was a really, really good year. Amazing year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's a really fun time around this, and it's interesting dealing with herbs because harvest time appears all year long at different times. And I've known Michael for quite some time now, probably since 2007, I'm guessing. He used to be in the underground music and Burning Man scene down in Los Angeles. Worked on events with him and other things, working on building our podcast show studio. Started a podcast back in 2020. It was going to be called Undivided Attention, where I traveled around to different people and did conversations with them. But then COVID-19 hit, and so that kind of put the kibosh on that. So now we're finishing our upstairs loft up here. We have a lab downstairs, our fields outside, and just a wonderful family land that we live on and have a lot of fun, a lot of great friends, and tubing every summer about 20 times, and lots of parties and celebrations. And I'm just another spiritualist, incarnate being here on this planet trying to figure it all out. That's about it. I could talk forever, but I'll keep it simple for right now.
Asmith, you grow only hemp, right? Not
MJ. Yeah, I mean, there's we breed, I'll put it like that. So we always grow some of our varieties out that we cross every year just to see what we created. I took over growing marijuana many years back in 2007. Parents, this whole room was my party room growing up, music room, music studio. And when I moved back from LA, they had been growing hydroponically, got broke into a couple times, decided to say screw that, moved outside, and I took over growing outdoors for them. And so we did that for quite a few years, but pretty much predominantly just grow hemp now at this point. I help consult other farmers from time to time across the country, and hoping to get a lot more people into industrial hemp at this point. We grow for flower and obviously breeding for seeds, oils, and mainly medicines. It's great. People want to smoke it. That's fun and all. It's just one of the most amazing plants on the planet that can do everything we want from it. And she's extraordinarily healthy, and you don't have to get high to work with her. So that's nice as well.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is just for the second to interject. I don't know if you're aware of Healing for the Ages.
I've heard of it. I don't know much about it.
It's Dr. Ely, Dr. Group, Dr. Artis, Dr. Schmidt, who is an herbalist, and they just had another guy join them. So they're in the middle of a conference right now. First day ended today, and Judy Mikovits joined them, and I was very surprised to hear from her that we need cannabinoids because we have the receptors. And she speaks of high THA and high terpenes. That's the medicine. That's what I take for sleep. But I don't like the feeling of being high, so I only use it for sleep.
Yeah, all the cannabinoids are amazing. For somebody to say THC, THCA, when I'm working with people with cancer or other health issues, obviously one of the main things I tell them to do is come out and just prune.
Right.
Come out when the flowers start happening, take a bunch of these with and start juicing them, because whether it's a high THC plant or high CBD, low THC, all the other varieties of cannabinoid combinations, you're never going to get high off of it. And we're working with a variety. We've got mainly hemp CBD, but we have a CBG, which cannabigerol is the main mother cannabinoid that breaks off into all the other cannabinoids, flavonoids, terpenes when it develops, and amazing for inflammation, really, really great for pain, and also potentiates a lot of the other cannabinoids and elements of the plant as well. And then we've got a CBDV, which we had a THCV. We grew tetrahydrocannabivarin, and the V in it, mainly from equatorial races, land races, is extraordinarily good for mental trauma, physical trauma in the mind, and just helps people stabilize. So it's just amazing. Point I bring that up is just amazing to see how many different ways these different cannabinoids can help act on different symptoms and issues that people are having. And that's just the medicine part, right? And then we get into textiles and the plants and every single thing inside here, from making boards and oils and food, and it literally is one of the master plants on this planet.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And she mentioned that, but she said for medicinal use and for because we have the receptors. She was talking of CB2, I believe.
CB1 in the brain, CB2 in the body. Yeah. So
CB2, high THC, and the terpenes are what our bodies have receptors for that block cancer and all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, every single plant has terpenes, right? It's another thing that we know when we're talking about SOS. And I've heard somebody talk about it in a different way. I think Renette was talking about it a little bit different, but one of the things I've known about for a long time is that when it gets really hot, so if they want to talk about climate change and geoengineering, if they just let nature do her thing, she would actually handle it herself. When pine trees and other trees, when they get really hot, their capillaries open up, they release these terpenes. And when it gets too hot and they release these terpenes into the sky, they go up into the cloud, and it seeds itself naturally and tells the clouds to rain. So we already have a natural environment when it's in homeostasis that likes to do this for us, instead of our human arrogance getting in the way.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because they end today with a lecture about how to heal our body. We just need to step out of the way, because our body can heal itself.
Yeah, starts in the mind.
Same with nature. It's nature, our body, all the same. Yeah. I yield. Steve, we are introducing ourselves to Laura. Do you want to go next?
Maybe not.
Steve, come on, Steve, you're muted. If you want to unmute and introduce yourself. Otherwise, we'll hand it. There you go.
Oh, there he is. I think he's working on it there. He's coming into the spectrum.
Not very photogenic right now. So, and you actually
it's okay.
A bit. Busy day. Hi, I'm Steve. I do a lot of things. I'm a natural builder, solar enthusiast, solar thermal particularly, looking at different alternative ways of being in harmony with the landscape. Studied permaculture, and I've got my own project that's its intention was to become a permaculture project. And anyway, right now it's everything's kind of on hold, and I'm just sitting here enjoying being in nature for sure. So that's what I do. And who am I talking to? Laura?
Yes. Where are you, Steve?
I'm in Western North Carolina.
Western North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm near Black Mountain, near Asheville.
Right. Yep, that's a beautiful area. Yeah, I'm up in Olympia, Washington, so I'm south of Aspen.
You say in Olympia?
Olympia, yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Yep.
was there in 1979.
Oh man, I would have loved to have grown up here. I grew
Yeah.
up in Texas, and I escaped about 7 years ago and moved up here.
Oh, okay.
Get out of the heat.
Where'd you escape from?
Texas. I
Oh, okay.
grew up in Dallas, Fort Worth, and then moved to Austin for 30 years. And it's just like, been there, done that. I'm tired of the heat. I got to go. So,
Yeah. So, have you visited Evergreen?
the college, yes. I've been around the campus. I've not been in the college.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I was checking that out at one point.
Yep.
And,
It's beautiful. Everything is beautiful here.
yeah. I was interested in the oceanography um,
Mm.
program they had going back then. A long time ago.
Yeah, 79. Yeah, it was a long time ago. World's changed several times since then.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand that Evergreen went through a real period there with I don't know what exactly what it was, but it had to do with woke culture.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of wokeness in this area, but there's
Yeah,
a lot of awakened people also. So it's all about balance, right?
it's all about balance.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So that's our format for this for tonight is the kind of mutual sharing.
Yes, I asked Michael if we could introduce everybody, basically because I'm new to the group, and so I didn't really know why I was even here. Other than Michael said, "Hey, why don't you join us?" And I thought it was all about Renette, but not this meeting. And,
Right.
so now I'm corrected and understand, and very thrilled to hear everybody, meet everyone, and see all the wonderful things you guys are doing. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing a little bit of branching out right now, and just seeing what else is out there, and I came across it. We were talking about this Earth stock. So I was on a what do they call it? The conversations or the conversation CC or something like that. That I think was related to the Earth stock summit, and yeah, very interesting. And there was some pretty good information over there. Now, still don't. I probably really shouldn't talk about any of the controversy with that, but I was planning on going to Earthstock, and anyway, something told me not to, and circumstances didn't line up for it anyway. So there you are, and I'm back in Western North Carolina.
Not a bad place to be.
And should be happy that you didn't go.
Yeah.
Steve and I originally met in, I think it was May 2019.
Oh no! It was after 2019. It was after the whole COVID thing started.
2021. Pardon me, 21.
It was.
I think it was May.
It was probably 2021.
Yep.
Yeah, at
And
the
that
Hempel
was-
build.
Yep, I was here in North County, San Diego area. So Steve gets around.
I do get around. Right now, I'm enjoying not being around.
And then more recently, he was working with Angela in Tonopah, Arizona. And so that's how Steve introduced me to Angela. So now she's part of our co-host inner circle. And then Steve got invited by a friend of his that he'd introduced me to in September of 2021 to the Earthstock thing. And so we all ended up in the Earthstock conversation. I hadn't talked to that gal since 3 years ago. And so now we're talking with her a bit. And extremely well-connected, experienced gal. And what we see quite often, Laura, as you and I have talked about, is the challenges of organizations with noble intentions to strategize effectively and to make stuff happen. So that's part of what Laura and I were talking about as we were getting to know each other. She seemed to be the most proactive of Renette's circles at the moment, in terms of not only talking about issues, but stepping forward and saying, let's do something, not just talk theory. So I was, and can someone mute Steve? I think that's the shuffling sound I'm hearing. And feel free to unmute Steve whenever you want to contribute anything. But Laura, you have any thoughts on that in general?
Okay, I've got headphones on now.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah. I don't know that I have any direct thoughts about it. There's so much needs to be done. And, you know, one of the things you and I talked about was drumming up some benevolent benefactors, i.e. investors or whatever. But, you know, we need a plan of action, of course. Just depends. And, of course, the SOS, the Save Our Skies, is one of the most needed things that needs to be funded, I suppose. Again, I'm pretty new to everything that's going on, so I'm just kind of trying to intake all the information to figure out, okay, what do we need to do as far as action, and what are our resources? I just heard a fellow, I was trying to think of his name. A couple of different people just came across my radar today, and this one guy is he's a self-made billionaire. He is in Nebraska, I think. And he's doing some amazing things. He's also a Burning Man fan. Has been there, very active man in his. He's about to turn 60. He said, or just turned 60. But yeah, he's a self-made billionaire. And I'll have to look up his name because I can't think of it right now. But he's doing some amazing things. Very, very conscious. There's a lot of people that are waking up. So I guess probably the strongest thing for me is, like, I've been in so many different groups, the Zeitgeist group and all the different things over the years. And it's like, we need a catalyst to bring us all together. We're all doing these amazing things in our own little realms, and it is beginning to come together, but it really needs to be co-joined. We need a catalyst. Survival might be that catalyst. If we don't join, we're not going to survive.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been saying that, but they just keep saying that, and they don't set forth the strategy.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it takes a huge effort. And, you know, it's like one of the things I battle is the lethargy, you know, just the absolute lack of energy, not being able to, like, have the gumption to even give a crap anymore. You know, I'm kind of tired. And I kind of envy Christopher. He's found a community to work with because a lot of us, you know, we're out here by ourselves doing what we do. And thank God for the internet, because otherwise we really have a problem. You know.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. A community, it's nice to have
for me it was about realizing that where I was in LA was over, that I didn't really feel that I was either able to contribute all that much outside of my video work, or that nobody really wanted to join in and work for a common cause. Even the person I was living with in her house, as her health was deteriorating, she didn't want to do simple things that I suggested to keep her house from just sucking, you know, from like becoming hard to live in. And now it's really hard to live in there for her. I feel really sorry for her. I told her years ago, get solar panels while they're giving government rebates. She didn't do it. Oh, I just had the roof done. And people make excuses why they can't act. And it's, I said, I'm out of here. There's so many people here who are just dysfunctional in terms of their mental ability to think what the next logical step would be to either save money or to increase your revenue so that you can live the kind of life you want to live. And I've been attracted to the work of John Bush and Derek Bros. The Exit and Build Land Summit is something I attended twice. And these are people that also get it, that, in order to go to the next level, you have to take massive action and you have to find your tribe, you find like-minded people that you can cooperate with and do something with. And I'm very encouraged by what Michael's been able to do with Renette already and getting the word out. I haven't had the time to really involve myself in that too much, but I am encouraged because that's the kind of thing that, and I know, Orit and Angelo will say, I heard this before, but you've got to concentrate on one thing at a time and get it going. When you're a beginning organization, and Michael might not agree that it's a beginning organization, but it still is a beginning organization. And we need to get that for the next iteration of what we want to do. And it's not hard when you've got the whole team focusing on one thing, and everybody can contribute their own specific talents, whether it's logistical or administrative or creative or even conflict resolution. All those talents are important, but you're not going to find all those things in one person. And you're going to trip and fall if you try to do too much. So you have to divvy up or delegate different aspects of what it takes. And this is my film experience from working on, large projects, multi-million-dollar projects at Disney and things like that, where I was just a production assistant. I wasn't a big honcho or anything there, but I learned the value of everybody contributing for something of a high level of excellence. And once you taste that and you see it come off and, you get paid for it and you realize that, hey, this is fun, this is exciting, this makes me happy, then you'll naturally attract more of those things into your life.
I agree with everything.
Period.
1,000%, brother.
Yeah. Oh. Mm.
And
one thing.
Go ahead.
That I was thinking about it, and I hear this a lot. Is and I think there was a group that was forming called Off-Grid Dreamers and Doers, and I went to their special event, everything, and that's part of their sales pitch is being with like-minded people, and I'm kind of coming to determine to. Or coming to a point where it's like, maybe I don't need to be around like-minded people so much as I need to be around other-minded people so that I can understand who they are and where they're coming from. Just a thought. And maybe a focus.
That's a great thought because I've often said I don't want to hang around with people like me as much as I would like to hang around with people that balance me out, that fill in my gaps, that are complementary with an E.
Yeah, and challenge you, and they will challenge you and make you think rather than go, oh, hi, this is so comfortable. I'm I'm in a room full of people like me. Oh, aren't I great?
Yeah. When Orit challenges me, critiques me, catches me on something, I say thank you. When Joyce or Ruita make it difficult for me and prove that my message isn't getting out there clearly, I say thank you. And yes, ma'am, may I have another? And I strive to make corrections and improve. And frankly, it's with that sort of personality that we will succeed. And unfortunately, I see so many folks who are stuck into trying to prove themselves right. And I am usually the first one to call attention to my flaws and say, hey, I'm just a has-been wannabe rock and roll idiot. I'm just the catalyst. I'm not an expert. I'm pulling experts together. I want to be the dumbest guy in the room, but maybe I brought some of the people into that room, and maybe I'll get a pat on the back maybe someday. But the whole point is not for me. We have to have a highest purpose, not even just a higher purpose. I looked at that one and said, I can make that phrase a little bit better. How about we are working for highest purpose? And the highest purpose is kinder communities for mankind, because those communities involve all the other species. So it's not just for mankind. It's life in this realm as we have known it. And is that speciesist? Am I biased toward carbon-based life? Yes. If that, which of the was it Rockefeller? Who was it that said, if that is what I stand accused of, then yeah. How did he put that? You remember? It was a horrifying statement. But all right, I'm not doing this very well.
He said if that's what I'm accused of, then count me as guilty. I think it's like something like that.
It was something like that. But in his case, it was basically the destruction of the United States.
Right.
So we're on the other side.
It's always good to have high aspirations, right?
Yeah, it's it's not a living yet, but it will be. It's a mission, and
Living or killing.
I like challenges. I've always tended to look for where's the niche that most people are missing. What's not being done that people need? Don't just do it because nobody else is doing it. I'm not gonna make pink elephants just because nobody else is. What do people need? What makes people happy and comfortable? What would be the best thing for our world? If our world has no kindness in it, which sometimes it looks like there's not enough, then that's a thing worth focusing on, because it's right there in our name, mankind, with kin right in the middle there, and that's like family. And I just keep finding more and more support for those ideas, and then there's a lot of well-aligned ventures that are trying to go in the same direction. So hey, let's pull together. And I find that that's difficult for a lot of people. I remember, and this was something I was hoping to talk about today. I remember once talking about collaboration with someone, and they reacted very negatively. Oh, no. I don't collaborate. I need to get paid. I went, oh, that's an interesting reaction. So I wonder how many people presume that collaboration means no compensation. Any ideas?
I have no idea about that, but I can say that it's just a matter of misinterpretation, or expectations.
Sure, but if you find one person that thinks a certain way, then there's probably more. So if that's a common perception, Like, what's the resistance when somebody comes and says, you're doing great things, I'd like to collaborate with you? Or what's going on with you that you might need some help with? And
Michael, I'd say it could be the
when and why
industry.
is the negative reaction? Go ahead.
Yeah, it could be industry specific. I know that me and Christopher both know this. In the film industry, unless you're on a gigantic multi-million-dollar studio film or smaller indie, there's a lot of people that just want to make content, a lot of people that want to make things. And there are sadly a lot of people that take and are not givers or sharers. And the ego gets in the way as well. A lot of people want all the credit or not take the credit, right, when it doesn't go so good. So most likely, I'm guessing, if we looked at a bunch of different industries, there's probably more possibility of something like that taking place, or people just raised in rough families and around rough communities where people just ask for help and then don't want to give back when it's their turn. Could be.
I think a lot of that is learned behavior.
That's what I was going to say. It's learned behavior. Yeah, that's what we're taught. That's what they try.
Learned behavior, learned helplessness. And a lot of it goes back into the various trauma aspects that everybody's being traumatized in one way or another by something, whether it's their own family or the neighbors or, whoever. But, part of it, I think, is crossing those bridges, even though it's like, dang, I'm going to cross that bridge and I might even die going across that bridge. They might just decide to eat me or something. And it's like, well, but I won't find out until I cross the bridge, will I? So I guess that's one of the things is that as I'm getting a little older here and a little more bold and getting out of my, I got to have my little safe place. Something might happen to me out there. It's just go ahead and say, hey, man, you never know. That's how you discover. That's how you find things out. So, and I'm finding that, I do the same thing. As an independent researcher into reality, you got to go and kind of find out what that reality is. And two people can even be best of friends and know each other real well, but have unknown parts about each other that they don't even know. So that's it's that psychological bridge building. I think it's endlessly fascinating to me, human nature and the different styles and. I'm talking like behavior styles or personal styles that they get. And I just, I guess you have to like surrender your judgment to be able to be around people who are different than you, to think, I'm looking for like-minded people, and then life just becomes a hall of mirrors. And frankly, that's kind of boring. So I'd rather take the challenges and maybe even take a few lumps.
That's enough. We forgot how to live as a community. We forgot to work together. That's what we forgot. People don't know how to work together as a community anymore, and set them judgments aside, and to set all that stuff aside and go, hey, we're a community here. We should be working together. You should be helping each other out. We forgot. We were programmed, whatever you want to call it as, to not help each other anymore and not be a community. Because if we come together as a community, guess what? And things are going to change rapidly. So that's part of that cycle too. That's why we're coming together as communities. That's why we're starting podcasts, with Michael. That's why I'm part of Mankinder Network. We have to come together as communities, and not only on the internet and things like that. We have to do it in the communities we're living in as well. I work at a gas station, for goodness gracious, and it is great. It's amazing. But I come together as a community. You know, I'm telling people about SOS. I'm telling people about this other things that are going on, and my community is getting geared up about it. You know, they're like, oh, I didn't know about that. I'm creating emails all the time. I'm always, you know, doing things like that to bring the community together. You know, I mean, just for an example, I had a friend stop and check on me this morning because when the septic guy was here fixing the septic the other day in the property I'm living on his way out, he mangled the gate. He caught it with his trailer. And so the septic people are going to have to fix the gate. But I had a friend come by this morning because my gate's all mangled and he didn't see my van and he wanted to make sure I was okay. I thought, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Now that's a community. That's a community. That's what communities should do. They're coming by to check on their neighbor, to make sure everything's okay. Now, if everybody in this country did little things like that, we wouldn't be having the trouble that we're having in this world. You know, we got to have that community. We have to do it in person. We can't just do it not in person anymore. You know, we really have to come together in person and actually give people a hug and you know, intentional communities like Chris Hassan's doing, you know, do the things like Azimuth is doing and doing all of those things. We need to do that.
Yeah. Well, and Angela, what I see, what you're doing with having a regular job at a gas station is it's a dual purpose. It's you know, I mean, you're making money.
Yeah.
You're being social, which you're so incredibly social, and you're such a community person. It's the absolute perfect place to do your mission. It's a job, you get paid, but that's not really why you're there. I mean, maybe on the surface level, that's why you're there, but on the deeper spiritual
that's
level,
not, yeah.
Right, and you know,
level, yeah, it's much more deeper.
And
paycheck.
Steve, you know, because you were there for how many months?
6 months.
And so you saw the dynamics there, and you saw her running 3 businesses, being underappreciated and
driving all over the place and trying to satisfy everybody.
Yeah. So she knows people in the town, and now she's in the very central place in town, which, as she told me when I started analyzing the situation, I said, well, what's the most successful business in town? She said, the gas station. I'm like, well, that's interesting, because the gas station doesn't need any additional promotion. What can we do for the gas station or with the gas station? And it turned out her gears turned around and she realized I can work there. You know? Okay. It's a great transition.
Yeah. I mean, I'm remembering when I was a kid, I got to work at a gas station. I like 6 years of my summers were spent working in a gas station and, you know, making real change and back in a full service thing where you're washing the window, you're checking the tires, checking the oil, blah, 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 doing all the stuff. And that was really, I got to meet a lot of people, and it was really amazing. And I'm reminded of, like, because I put the little thing in there about my encounters at the grocery store. And this is here in Southern Appalachia. And I could have written volumes just about those few minutes. But you know, just in that neighborly sort of sense. And these people, like Southern Appalachia, well, maybe all of Appalachia, but all I know is the Southern Appalachia has this deeply rooted culture of kinship. And so you could see that. It was palpable in those few minutes of interaction. But the sophistication, because ordinarily you think, well, these people are hillbillies, you know, they're hicks, they're rednecks. And it's just like, they are some of the sweetest, kindest. I mean, they've got that kindness kind of written into their code. And but there's also the eloquence is what, you know, because they get the kind of the Beverly Hillbillies Hollywood version of hicks, you know, being stupid, you know, Green Acres, you know, Mr. Haney. You know, it's like, I asked this guy, I say, how you doing? Just casual. And he goes, He's endeavoring to persevere. And I'm going, wow. I mean, this is like the king's language being practiced here, you know. I mean, or the queen's language, whatever, you know. It's like it goes back generations. And they're very intelligent. They're not stupid.
Yep. Yeah, Appalachians are very, very amazing people. I've met quite a few of them. They're very, very amazing. And they have that kinship, just like you said. They really have a kinship that is unique, almost. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like the stigma that farmers have. And I go to the farmers market at least once a week, and I meet those farmers face to face. They're behind the counter where they sell their produce, and they're not stupid at all.
Oh no.
And they're friendly and family oriented, and they're all that good America needs.
Right.
That's right. Yep. They're beautiful. I know that's what I
was going to say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the feather. I was just going to say they're also under attack in a big way, anyway, leave it at that.
Yeah, that is the reason that I succumbed to wearing a shield, not a mask, but a shield during the lockdowns, so I can go and support them at the farmers market. And by the way, my shield had placebo written in black, thick Sharpie on top of it. And only a couple of people got it. Only a couple of people got it. But I still had it, placebo, right on my shield.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You know, I have to say I was lucky enough to work at the ranch during the lockdown and working at the Santa Vista Ranch over there. Okay. So I never wore a mask. The customers would come in with a mask, but I never wore a mask. I never did. You know, and I have to thank the owner for not making me wear one, because I didn't. You know what I mean? He kept his in the office. I said, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not doing it. So, but none of the customers ever complained to me not wearing a mask. Nobody ever, you know what I mean? I just didn't do it. I was, you know what? I'm with the critters and nature right here. You know, we're good. We don't need a mask. We're going to leave that sucker off. So I think the only time I did is when I went to a grocery store once, and I didn't put it on. People didn't even say anything to me. I didn't wear my mask either. They're like, you have to have a mask. I said, well, I'll see you later. Have a nice day. I went somewhere else.
Right.
I went to the other store, went and bought my groceries, didn't even put the mask on, and I was to go, you know. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. If you're going to make me wear that, I'll go somewhere else. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I got kicked out of two places, actually health food places. I got kicked out, and I said adios, and that's it.
If they want your service, they will accommodate you.
That's right.
Yeah, the co-op here, which is supposed to be one of the most conscious stores in the town, were Nazis, absolute Nazis, just to use the term loosely. And I refuse to shop there anymore. I will not go into their co-op. They can do whatever they want to, but nope.
Sadly, the co-ops are about as woke as it gets. As health-minded as they are, they will jump on board that bandwagon immediately.
Yeah, and burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
They're ugly. I shopped at Safeway.
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of customers accosted me. And I'm like, you know, I had a scarf just around my neck, right? As the token mask.
Right. Yeah.
And had a huge woman walk through the produce department. She's like pointing at my face, and I went like this, my scarf. She goes, okay. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to take her out. Whoops. She's coming after me.
Yeah.
She was coming after you.
She was mean too. So,
my favorite woman at the farmers market was a woman who came every week shopping, and she cut from the most mesh-like see-through whatever she had. She cut a little triangle, and that's what she wore around. I love them.
Just the one about the people with the
Awesome.
panties, the little string
You
panties on their
see
face.
the little
One
thin
guy-
Victoria's Secret panties.
Right?
Yes.
One guy walked in with boxer shorts on his face. Walked in, no, they were briefs, like jockey briefs or something. Underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta get
that's-
creative when
That'd be great.
it goes on.
Yeah.
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 Um,
I think woke culture might be having its it's getting slapped in the head with some reality right now, I think. So
well, they can't
we'll
back
see.
it up anymore. Yeah, they're having a hard time
Yeah.
backing it
Yeah,
up.
they can't.
Yeah.
Then,
You know,
then they can't.
and going as you know, as a media analyst, maven, surfer, whatever you want to call it, you know, and this whole and looking at the memes or these phenomenological sort of things like the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, right now. That is like a bomb going off right now. Is in that social, psychological milieu, and it's like, who'd have thought it, you know? And it's fascinating to watch this whole how it all rolls out.
Well,
so
the biggest thing too is
That's
like
gonna get
America.
better.
Are you an American? What does American stand like? I mean, we've always talked about being these independent, take care of business kind of creatures, and here we are being overrun by beings that don't belong here, and it's like, who has the guts to stand up and go, who brought these guys here, and what are we going to do about this?
Yeah.
And let
Right.
us fix this. We don't have
That's
to,
right.
I mean, they're eating our ducks for God's sakes. What are we going to do? So,
And more
but,
than-
yeah,
more
it's
than ducks.
weird. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
how many times you need to be bitch slapped before you stand up and take care of your community?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Obviously, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I came from Texas, and so I have an attitude. Unfortunately, I don't get challenged too much. Like, we
Yeah,
shoot
that's
people in
good.
Texas.
They do too. They don't ask questions. They shoot and bury them in the backyard.
Well, the sticker,
Yeah.
the woman says, I shoot my own snakes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in the. I originally from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Well, just so you know, that's
Where?
where I was born. So I was Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
South Dakota, in the
You
middle.
got to be tough.
Okay,
man.
so we're like that there too. We're like that there too. You know what I mean? We grew up tough and working in the fields and the tractors and we shoot our own snakes and kill our own deer, all that other kind of stuff. Change our own flat tires and all that other kind of stuff too.
Oil, brakes, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff.
More.
Yeah.
Anymore, yes. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
3 younger brothers, and the only reason I survived was because I was the oldest.
Yeah. I mean, and that also reminds me of
Yeah.
the same day I had the encounter with the at the Food Lion, but I went to get gas in Marion, which is Black Mountain has kind of gotten so yuppie and woke that so I went to Marion to get, because they had the cheaper gas, but my car wouldn't start after I filled up the gas. And so my battery was dead. And so this guy just asked me out of the blue, because he sees me kind of futzing around with it and everything, and he offers to help and everything. And it's like, wow, so I got jumped. And then I went to the parts store and just had real conversations with ordinary people, and not people that were wanting something from me, I guess is one way to think about it. So yeah, that whole thing in the grocery store was kind of a chain of beautiful little events in this podunk little town called Marion, North Carolina. So
I am enjoying this
helped us.
conversation. Yes, I'm enjoying this conversation tremendously, but I've got to go.
Yeah, I
Other
hear that.
things. Yeah. So every Friday night, what's going on with this, Michael, right? And
Yep.
what else?
Yes, ma'am. And we do a Sunday at 5, so 1 hour earlier, which is completely private. It's just our little inner circle. So it would be like the same vibe, except that we wouldn't have to worry about what we were saying. And
You have to worry
yeah.
about what we're saying.
yeah,
I didn't
for
know that.
public consumption. So
Oh.
part of the benefit of being a private membership association is, well, we can inform people about potholes on the road.
Do whatever we want to.
Right.
So I'll extend because we've talked in depth, invitation if you would like to brainstorm with us on Sunday, because frankly we got a lot to do and we got to do it fast. So we hate to see you go tonight, but I'm not surprised. We've been on for a while and it's been an honor.
Been a long day,
a
long
letting
week.
people get to know you.
Yeah. Excellent.
And Andy Schulgasser, yes, it's possible to get on camera if you wish, dear. I'll send you the link if you didn't see it. But if you got the invitation, you should be able to see the StreamYard link, and just click on the StreamYard link and we'll let you in. What do you think, Laura? Would you want to join us Sunday for Inner Circle brainstorming?
We'll try to come in, yes, on Sunday. Yeah, just trying to catch up with everything that's going on. But yeah, I'll touch base with you.
I feel you. Thank you, dear heart. It's an honor to have
All
you
right.
here with us.
Goodbye, everyone.
Have
Great
a
to meet you,
one.
Laura.
Bye, Laura. Good to talk
All
with
of
you a
you.
little bit.
Excellent.
Very
I
nice
can't
to
wait
meet
to
you.
learn. Yeah, I can't wait to learn more about each of you. I
Yeah.
wrote you down.
Thanks,
So,
thanks you
same
guys
here.
for waking me up. I was sitting there
Yeah, for
snoozing
sure.
out. I wasn't gonna.
Cheers.
Michael,
Yes, dear.
Michael, there is a comment that you may want to respond to, since I cannot comment from Andy.
I just did. If you
Oh,
didn't
you
hear
did?
me, I was talking to her.
Oh, okay. I missed
She even
that.
wrote back and said thank you. So I think she
Oh.
understood.
Laura, by the way, I would definitely like to have a conversation with you. There you go.
I believe it. Yep.
There you go.
Well, we'll put her in the loop. Good vibe, right?
Yeah. Yes. Very good. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
this is her
Very, very
third
good vibe.
time with us, so yeah. Yes.
Yeah. She's got good. Like
No,
I
this is
said,
very
out of,
three. The number 3.
out of Renette's team,
very good.
she was the one that was really showing up, and
Yeah.
she's
And kept showing up.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
she's got the background
Mm-hmm.
to understand, the challenges of organizational structure and efficacy.
Yeah, for sure. Right. No, she's awesome. Every time I've heard her speak or been around her, and her energy is very good and very amazing. It's
I'm
simple.
glad you've been able
It's
to.
simple for me, guys.
Given your schedule, dear, I'm delighted that you've been tuned in enough to catch all that. So that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's those
well, I've made time.
synchronicities.
I've made time for it because it's good for me to be involved in different things like that. It'll help me do what I want to do with my community, do what I want to do with the community. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
coming around me.
Right.
So,
Right.
It's good for me to be able to listen to that, to be able to listen to the way they're talking and communicating, that good stuff.
Yeah,
On
I
a
didn't
side
even-
note,
I didn't
do
even
we have?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I didn't even get to tell her about your flyers around Tonopah, and I'd like to actually make one that would be generic, so you can use it any week.
Yes, definitely. Amy is picking them up tomorrow.
Oh, the business
And
cards?
she's picking up my business
And
cards
stuff?
tomorrow too.
Oh, okay. Was she
And the
gonna be in
flyers,
that area?
everything that we had printed, she's doing that.
Was she
Yeah,
be
she's
in
going to do
area?
that for me.
Anyway, was she going to be in that area anyway?
She is going to be in that area.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
'Cause like I said, I was still thinking about.
Yeah,
designing
she's going
more
there to
stuff, but it's on the way to Phoenix, so
Yeah.
I just didn't want you to go out of the way.
No, it's fine. Amy's going to be in that area. She's going to get some pencils and she's going to pick them up for me, because what I was going to ask is, do we have a streamlined email that's kind of put together that I can forward? I have a list of things that I need to send people to. SOS, Empower Movement. And if we don't, it's fine. I'm going to put one together and I'm going to send it.
Not off the top of my head that I know is completely current and apropos and not dated. And for the moment, though, I want to jump back to Chris because, again, it's almost 8 o'clock and Chris tends to get bored with us.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly. Chris, you mentioned something that is very timely. And as I've been hinting about, we need to make a Mankinder sizzle reel. And so I would like you to think in terms of Chris Toussaint's greatest hits, images that you've recorded that portray the idyllic ideal world that we wish to portray, because otherwise I'm gonna be Googling and chat GPTing, and I'd rather use your stuff. What do you think?
I need a little bit more of an outline of how you want to do that. You got to realize too that all my stuff is scattered over about 16 or 17 different hard drives.
I'm sure.
So just once again, I had to pick up and move everything, and now
right.
I'm just starting to get back into the swing of things.
Right. Well, no rush, but I don't know how you catalog or keep track of stuff, but if anything occurs to you.
Well, if you want it to be Mankinder, it's not going to be just Chris Toussaint's hits. That's like, no, we've got to have something beyond that.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I mean, I can contribute to it, but yeah. I need somewhat of an outline, and I've got actually lots of stock footage that's already licensed, and a lot of it's very positive, uplifting type of imagery. So we could definitely use a lot of that.
Well, frankly,
what are you saying, Angela? I can't quite.
I said, now your wheels are spinning. I seen you were like, you're taking it in. He's like, oh, wait a minute, but I got this. Your wheels started spinning. Your creativity started kicking in. It was cool. It was really cool to watch that come through your body, Chris. It was like, oh, and then it just kicked in. That's really cool. That was really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
I would look to you, Chris, as the visionary director. What in your mind says that would be what a Mankinder world looks and feels like. Don't look to me to tell you what your vision of an ideal world is. That doesn't make any sense. I want it to come from you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. I don't like the term sizzle reel, and I don't want to even get
make
into
up
why
your
I
own
don't
word.
like that
Believe
term.
me, I know I'm wrong. I already know I'm wrong just starting out. So whatever, it's a video, a short video, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Right. Well, the thing is that who's it for? Is it for people like Lauren, who just all of a sudden found out about us and wanted to know more about us? And if that's the case, if that's the audience, is outsiders who don't really know what we are, then there has to be a little bit of a voiceover explanation.
Of course.
Of, what we stand for.
Yes, of course. There'll be voiceover. Of course. Yes.
If you could give me a scratch, rough kind of narration script, then I can look at it and say, no, this is repetitive, or we could use this kind of visual for it, and it'll get me stimulated more to go, oh yeah, okay, so instead of wind farms, which is now starting to become a big issue, we won't use a wind farm, image. We'll use some, free energy device or something like that instead, and we can parlay that into, a documentary short that, might be 3 minutes long or something like that. But gives people much more clarity about what Mankinder is and intends to do. So anything you could supply me, that even if it's just a rough outline or some thoughts that you have, that'll get the ball rolling, and I could just go off of that.
I'm seeing a very happy community.
That makes sense?
Go ahead.
Oh, it's gonna be delightfully positive. That's no doubt.
And
but
Michael,
I don't
are
want it to
you
be syrupy, new agey, and all that kind of stuff either.
Michael, are you looking to just get footage from Christopher, or are you looking to get some pieces and parcels of that and then combine it with, if anybody else has any material, you've got material, any material that we've recorded so far, any Steadicam stuff? What format of material are you looking to put together here?
That would depend upon the enthusiasm and capabilities, interest and resources of you guys. So I can't ask anyone to contribute something they don't have or don't have time for. And if Chris were so inclined to say, fantastic, I get it, I'll write this, it's exactly what I've been wanting to do, I don't need anybody else's images, I can handle this. I'll give you a 30-second spot that'll explain the vision. It'll be my vision. I'll bounce it past you. Take a look at it. We'll make any changes. And I'd be like, great, go for it. It's your thing. If he said, I need a picture of Orit taking care of her iguana. I need a shot of Azimuth taking care of his plants. I need a shot of Angela taking care of her owl. And that's all I need from you guys. And Wisnu, just give me a shot of you blowing your nose. And I'll be like, okay, great. I don't know what you want to do with it. Go ahead.
There you go.
You're the director.
I like that. Yeah.
I would love for Chris to be in charge of it because I think he's a lot smarter than I am. But if he needs me to tell him what he should do, I guess I can try, but it's probably going to be mediocre.
I can take mediocre and embellish it. Okay, that's what I do. I take mediocre all the time and embellish it. But what I need to know is, the weight you want to give it. And by weight, I mean how much emphasis on each particular thing, because okay, we're unjabbed, we're untaxed, we're this, we're tax free, we're jab free, all these kind of buzzwords floating around. How much do you want to carry on this little video of those things? Maybe we leave out untaxed,
but
or
there may be a dozen videos. There may be 200 videos. We may be just getting started. So, shot in the dark.
So Michael, what if so the idea of what Christopher was just talking there, bullet points of here, whether we can reach them or not. Here are things that we know that we talk about a lot. Here are things that Mankinder cares about a lot. Here, that at least shines a light on segments, material that we could find, right? And then that may
Yeah.
give us, this is what we have accessible. And then do we want to involve the group at some level? I obviously have cannabis footage, drone shots, things like that I have access to. So I can help out in that realm for me. But at least picking those finite points, that'll help Christopher out for sure. And then as you're running through content, that'll obviously, things will jump out at you a little bit more.
Yeah. You know, like you may
Yeah,
want to
'cause
show
I mean,
the community.
I know what I want to do in terms of intentional communities and eco villages and freedom cells and all that stuff. Okay, that's no big deal. It's other things that I'm not so focused on that might be more important, like SOS, you know, that kind of a thing, or the marketing
Well,
aspect
then
of
don't
what,
do that stuff.
you know, we can provide people.
Then don't do that stuff. It doesn't need to be comprehensive. I was
Yeah, but
suggesting
what I'm
your
saying
video,
is I think it's,
because
yeah, but my
ultimately,
vision is probably limited.
good. I love limited. So each
Michael's on
video,
fire today.
each video we will create will reach different people,
Yeah.
right? Because if you
Oh, yeah.
try to if you try to get everybody with one video, it won't work. One video can't reach
I know,
everybody.
but Michael, I don't have time to work on 200 videos.
Exactly. Just one.
I know.
The Chris Toussaint version. The Chris Toussaint message.
So,
I don't care if it's 30 seconds. It would only be what you feel passionate and feel like you want to say to the world that you'll also get something out of. Like, hey, here's my thing. Here's my perspective. This is what I think is
Okay.
important. Great. That is one of the panels on this screen, right? Is you. That's your vision.
So Michael, what I'm kind of hearing here, and this might help you, Chris, if you're going through your content, let's just say not 200 videos, but all the topics we talk about. I think it'd be good to get that list together.
Right.
Ecology, taxation is theft, freedom, anarchy, whatever these topics are. And you've got a list in front of you. And as you're going through content, you're able to make notes for the future in case that does come up and there's money and it makes sense to start making that kind of video. And then you at least can go back and say, okay, well, we're talking about these 3 topics here. Let's grab that content. I've got a list for other things. And then we all can look at that list as well and see what kind of content we have. I've done interviews at protests and I filmed a lot of BLM stuff when it was going on, right? So I'm sure a bunch of us have content that may be related to our topics and also our internal interests and abilities. And at least, we can start fleshing out a list that we can look at into the future if it does make sense. But, if we're not taking those notes, and I know you during editing, if we're not taking those notes, then it just disappears into the void content.
Right. Some of the things that I would include about health freedom, for instance, might be proprietary, and I just have to get permission to use some clips like that. But, I mean, I could definitely, start gathering what I want to do, my vision. But I don't really feel that my vision of, can you hear me?
Okay.
We're losing the signal here.
Yeah, all right.
I don't feel that my vision would necessarily encompass everyone in mankind. And what I'd like to do is attempt to have the vision of our core inner circle, at least.
Well, that would be nice, but I think that's going to take more time, and it's still coalescing.
Yeah.
Angela's still learning how to use her gimbal.
I've been in other situations. Let me tell you, I've been in other situations where I was given that kind of a task, and everybody at the end looks at the video and say, "Well, I would have done this," or "No, you need to cut this shot," or this, and everybody starts weighing in on it, and pretty soon you have, maybe. You don't get a
Right.
satisfactory
That's why
end
it should
product.
be your vision, not our vision, because then we don't have any right to muck about with yours.
Yeah, but then it doesn't get seen. It's like
I disagree. I would be shocked. I would be shocked if you could possibly create something so mediocre that I didn't think it was worth seeing. I mean, geez, what have you been doing your whole life, man? What?
I'm not talking
Come
out.
on.
I'm not valuing it as mediocre versus excellent. I'm not valuing it that way. I'm valuing it as whether or not it connects with the intended audience.
In those past cases where things went badly, did people have opportunity to give input during the course of production or only after it was done?
Both.
Okay. Well, I think if we kind of saw the direction you were thinking, and and kind of took a look as it went along, and you said, "What do you think about these dozen shots?" And we said, "Well, 2 or 3 of these maybe are too much of the X, Y, and Z," and you say, "Yeah, okay, I can see that. All right, we can leave those out." Maybe. I don't know.
That's a collaborative. That's a collaborative process, and I would like that very much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's great.
All right.
As my dad used to say, get it started, and then we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. If you build it, they will come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, right. Build it, it will come. Yes, right. Right. It's the truth. Yep. Yep.
Because I've been. Thank you, brother.
I got to spend the rest of the night looking for images now.
Yay!
Yay! We love you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll let it start percolating, and then that'll come out
right
as
on.
The
Beautiful.
Written words. And if you want to
And then-
send me anything to get me more motivated.
All right, I'll give you a couple of ideas. Remember the old commercial? I'd like to teach the world to sing. Remember that one?
Oh, the Coca-Cola one?
Yeah. Except can we do something like that without selling toxins?
Can we sell Mankinder? Let's
Yeah.
sell Mankinder.
That's one thing that's that's a vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I remember what that looked like, and you don't have that, right? But
that starts with the song.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. It's
Right.
Build to the vibe.
Yeah.
I like that. That works.
And now that we've all had this conversation together, everybody's mind is going to be looking for, hey, something like this maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure. You planted the seed, Michael. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
I've been listening to Christopher, and I've been observing him a lot for many, many years, right? And he's now said certain things that indicated to me, especially this evening, okay, now's the time. He's settled, he's a little bit more comfortable, and he's saying what he really wants to do. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother anybody
you do
when
seem
they're
much
busy.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking, and I'm eating really good fresh food, and I'm breathing in the phytocides from the trees here. So yeah, I'm definitely vibing up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely look like it. Your color looks different. Your expression is different. Your eyes seem brighter. Your whole aura just seems much brighter. And you just seem much more relaxed. And you're like, I got a new lease on life. Look at this. And it's amazing when you find it in a nice place like that to be. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very welcoming.
Yeah, but both of you know what it's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
to be overused and underappreciated.
Oh yeah,
That's the truth. That is the truth. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, have a good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
I'll talk to you
Chris.
later.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Peace.
Good night, Chris. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Michael, would you like to fill us in on that guy that you asked us to block?
A little bit.
Yeah,
again,
we
this
can
is-
we
this
can
is
go
public.
more on Sunday, but yes, yes.
This is public, and there was
Sunday.
There was a name thrown out earlier that I don't think was accurate, but anyway, doesn't matter. So, conceptually speaking, occasionally I may send you guys a message like, "Hey, watch out for this," and I ran it past Angela first before I showed anything to anybody, right? And I waited all day until she got home to get a reaction. And of course, I got the reaction I expected. And because I didn't tell her anything, she didn't know what she was looking at. She had no way of
Nope.
knowing. Because there's no
No way.
connection. There's no connections. And the reaction was perfect.
Yep.
So I'll tell you guys Sunday. And this is a specific instance of something which I have a feeling is going to happen more of. But
Yep.
when you, and I've seen this countless times, please, somebody tell me it's not just me. When you start to get close to the target, the dark side gives you opportunity to get distracted. Am I right?
Got it. You got it. 100%. 100%. 100%.
And if
So
you're
we are-
if you're big enough, they really start to mess up with you.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So the guy that was going to be on with us, Facebook locked his computer. I'm like, wait, how does that happen? What do you mean you can't even get into your computer? So I don't know, but you know, he's doing all kinds of amazing law processes and all that money stuff that we were dealing with Aaron, the 1099s and the coupons, and you go get a car and you wipe out your mortgage, blah, 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 whatever, that this kind of stuff. Travel stuff, mortgage stuff, money stuff, car stuff. He's pretty darn expert on all this stuff. And we have common connections up the wazoo. He's involved in states assemblies and all kinds of things. So Andy, look at that. She's coming in.
She
Welcome
made
aboard.
it. She made it.
Can't
Hi.
hear you yet. Say hi.
I was just.
Darn it, your
have
microphone
no sound,
is
Andy.
unmuted, but I can't hear you yet. Do you have a headset? And if you have your headset plugged in, maybe try unplugging it. If you have one not plugged in, maybe try plugging it in.
She remembered. I see it. That's beautiful.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Angela, can I bring something to your awareness? When someone is speaking and you're jumping in or even laughing out loud, it cuts the other person or the other speaker off. Okay, so please be aware of that.
Excitement good, self-governance good.
Andy, we're not hearing you. If we do start hearing you, we'll let you know. So if you can just keep trying different things, at least you're able to log in. Are you logged in from your phone or your laptop? Give me a thumbs up for phone. I can't hear you and I can't lip read. I'm so sorry. So I'll ask you slowly. Are you logged in from your phone? Maybe give me a thumbs up if so.
Phone.
I can't lip read, dear heart. I'm so
Laptop.
sorry.
Laptop.
I'm no good at that at all.
She said laptop.
Laptop. Okay. So are you logged in from your laptop? Give me a thumbs up. I guess her thumbs don't work. Darn it.
That's all right. She knows how to nod.
Yeah. Nodding is almost as good as thumbs. You know,
Yeah.
thumbs are very popular on the internet. Have you noticed that? There's an emoji and everything. It's really
Mhm.
popular. Anyway.
Yeah, and Andy, you're unmuted on our end, so it must be somewhere
Yeah.
on your end.
There's some technical problem. Maybe try your phone. You're going to keep just mouthing things to me, hoping I'm going to learn how to lip read. It's just not going to work, dear heart. I'm so sorry. Maybe in my next life, I'll learn how to read lips. All right. So we'll just hang out here. And if you can keep trying different things, maybe you can try your phone. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear my words. We got a nod. Okay, no thumbs. All right, I'm sorry. Thumbs are against her religion. Okay, but she can hear me. Good. Oh, a thumb. Look at that. I saw one. You know, some people think that's a vulgar gesture, so it could be against her religion. I would respect that. It's like, up yours, mister. I'll shove this up where it's going to hurt, I tell you. Anyway, maybe try your phone. Who's chewing? Someone's chewing something.
Oh,
Must
sorry.
be Steve. There he is. Yeah. All right. All right. So while Andy tries her phone, I'm going to respond to what she wrote. And given that she has gained the use of her thumb, maybe I can get an answer to this question. Andy, I'm going to be at the San Diego Freedom Alliance tomorrow, presenting Renette Senum. I'm going to be hosting that. Are you going to be there? If you're going to be there, maybe give me a thumbs up. And I could see you in person at the Encinitas Senior Center. Maybe? She's talking. I don't see a thumb yet.
Well, remember, there is a delay.
Yeah. I'm watching for the possible thumb. She could even give me a thumbs down if she's not going to be at the Encinitas Senior Center. You know, that's the last place I saw you was at the Encinitas Senior Center. You know, John S., San Diego Freedom Alliance. I'm not going to be able to read your lips, dear. You're still talking to me. It doesn't work for me. All I can get out of you is a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just let me know if you're going to be in Encinitas tomorrow. You know, I wrote it to you in the chat. You didn't respond. So.
Andy, you can use the private chat now.
Oh, she's still nodding.
And she's nodding. She said yes.
Nodding. Yes. Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow and we can talk in detail about this. All right, so in the meantime, here's what Andy's asking. She wrote, is it possible to be in this Zoom thing? Yes. Clearly, I suck at this. Cannot figure out how to get on, but she did. The live stream was asking for a credit card. I've heard that once before, and that is very strange to me. Laura the Bruce said that happened to her. And then she later said, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I was wrong. It wasn't asking for money, because it should not. So just so you know, you might have clicked on the wrong thing like Laura the Bruce did. And Laura the Bruce was on with us today without paying a credit card. Okay, so part 2. I have a project I want to do if anyone is interested. I want to rent someplace where a video can be shown of Rosa Quare in Encinitas, Carlsbad, and then go door to door with flyers announcing the events. Well, that's possible. Then have a discussion and a plan to demonstrate at construction sites where they have been almost completed building the 15-minute cities here. The individuals and businesses are very frustrated. Our tax dollars are being stolen, the land, the driving lanes. So yeah, as you know, I've been wanting to collaborate with you for many years. You're a brilliant woman, very well connected, and your awareness is on point. You know that you may know that I'm officially the role we came up with is outreach producer for Renette Senum's Save Our Skies anti-geoengineering movement. So she and I have actually talked about her experience with Rosa Quare, which is very interesting. It's a longer story. But, I'd love to integrate that, your idea, with everything else we're doing. And it's certainly crowdfundable, and it could certainly be done. And I'd like to talk details with you when I can hear your voice. So probably best will be in person tomorrow in Encinitas. So maybe if that works for you, you can give me another thumbs up or just nod if that works better for your religion. Waiting for the delay. Thumbs up. Yay! Cool. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right. Bringing it back to our team. Asmith, what is the plan with the podcast studio? When's it going to be complete? How do you want to use it? What's your vision? Currently, blah, blah, blah.
Good question. I've got to get I'm not going to start it until the walls are painted and I have most of the display pieces in. So I'm slowly collecting pieces for that right now. I've got to finish spackling and then painting or killing, and then we can actually put the actual paint on later. It's just I've got a wall of plants that are going to be behind it for the time being when we start it as one of the faux walls. And so once that happens, I can easily cover it and paint it. I just can't have any dust up here, and I still have to dust off some of the wood at the edges of everything. Timelines, it's a good question. I'd like to have it up I'd like to be shooting by mid-October. I have I've plenty of cell phones, so I can easily shoot on that. I don't have any cameras yet. We got 2 microphones, really nice ones. So I can easily do interviews with people. The table that we have is able to fit 6 people. And it's a little bit Timcast. It's a little bit of a interview show. Definitely going to be used for Science Under Nature, for brand. The setup's very much a tea table, so it's a very, very low table. I've got to buy a ton of bolsters from India or China to get good deals on them. And yeah, just doing something different. The idea is I'm trying to think of what hasn't been seen yet, and I've never seen anybody do an actual tea table, kind of formal tea table style podcast. So that's one thing that'll separate us. Very Indian, Asian, ethnic themed vibes. And I've been writing down ideas for the last couple of years for sure. I've got lists of people I want to interview, from doctors, philosophers, people that's working in sociology, and economists, from music to gardening and farming and herbal. Like, there's nothing I'm not interested in. So that's kind of the tough thing to pigeonhole what it's specifically going to be about, other than, I think I might have mentioned before, the key point of the entire podcast is to find solutions, right? So that's the general idea. We'll talk about world, the idea of having a group of people that can come on and chat with us, definitely talk about what's going on in the world. I don't want to do too much news stuff personally. I like the idea of doing newscast stuff, but that's not what this show is going to be about. So we'll talk about current events if it's applicable or actually important. I don't want to do the redundant shit that everybody talks about politics all day. Obviously, politics will be a piece of it. But it'll be fun to be able to shoot with people from across the world, bring people actually into the studio, and really just a jumping point for everything that we're doing and everything I've done for a really long time to just get my voice back out there, right? I've got tons of fans from the pirate reality show is on, all the different things that I've done, TV and things. And so it'll be really neat to be able to get back in touch, or, capture that audience again, and also just get back in touch with everybody I've met throughout the years. And also one day a week, it'll be in the music studio here, but one day a week, I'll probably start doing on the fly DJ mixes, and then it'll be the music studio come back into play, and then that'll be involved. It's going to be a lot. And I've got so many freaking ideas that it's just going to be nice to have a place where we can all record, play, starting to rebuild my Gorilla film gear and lighting equipment and sound equipment. And we shall see. It's a big idea, but it's time. So hopefully mid-October to late October, that'd be great.
That sounds like a lot of fun to me. It sounds like
That's
a
great.
good way to bring things to it.
Yeah,
It
we'll
just
be
got
able to,
loud here.
we'll be able to bring everybody on here. Obviously, I'm going to do a Mankinder interview at one point. So,
Yeah, thank you.
great place to highlight everybody.
Do you know Barnaby Gallagher?
Does not ring a bell.
He's the son of the famed watermelon smashing comedian.
Okay, cool.
I've met him. Cool guy. Total tea aficionado.
Really?
Loves setting up tea setups. So
Okay.
I just Googled it up, and it's in the chat. He did a Indiegogo, and we should definitely track him down. And I don't know where he's at currently. Probably around Los Angeles, but connect it up.
Cool.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
I'll reach out to him. At least connect.
Yeah, be good. Good PR.
Great person to bring on the show too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a sweet guy.
Because that'll be one of the other points. I love coffee, but I really want to focus on tea more. And I've been talking about this tea line. I have tons of the names already. I just got to figure out what the teas are for them, for our company. And so that'll be a great way to have a new tea every single time, come up with concoctions. It's just going to be a very playful, very fun, malleable show for sure. But yeah, I'll reach out to Barnaby.
And also Nate and Lyra that have been doing their tea thing big time. Oh my God, they came on the thing we did with Renette. Did you catch that? Where they were posting snarky. Like she hasn't done enough, hasn't been responsive to the community. I was like, great way to warm up the room. But that's their vibe. But they have built this mobile tea house that is no, wait for it. It is a TARDIS.
Oh, wow.
It's wild. They're really, really into it. And when they explained, I've finally looked properly at the website and read the explanation of why tea house and why there's like a socio-political history with that and what that's all about. And so it's very interesting if you look at their, highest purpose motivation.
Well, yeah, and if you think about tea houses, coffee houses, drink places, those have always been the epicenters of France, right? And these different times and eras where people would get together and they'd go to their classes, their shows, and then they'd do their art, and they would congregate in these locations where they would come together, and it'd be the happening thing. You'd go and have tea. So yeah, it'd be. There's a lot of research I'm gonna have to do on this to try and implement as much of that culture into it as well. Who knows what that'll turn into?
That's a whole nother thing. Tea and crumpets. Tea and crumpets.
We'll have some British shows. Yes.
Yes, the tea and crumpets. Yep.
Cannabis crumpets.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Throw some creosote bush in there, and a little bit of mullein flower, and a few other things, and you can have all kinds of teas, all kinds of healing plant medicines.
And as it comes together, I'm all open to anybody's ideas and input. So always love help.
Yeah, help is good. That would be good. I actually, believe it or not, I actually had a company that wanted to make my teas and started selling them. I just didn't ever have the initial investment. So maybe we can do some collaboration with that.
If there's specialties, yep. I'm going to need a formula pretty much for every ailment and issue on the planet. So we're going to go through Ayurvedic, TCM, traditional, North American, and European. So yeah, you got something. We can come up with something.
No, I do. Trust me. I got all kinds of stuff. We'll come up with something. It'll be a good thing.
Banana tea.
The banana tea, huh?
Banana tea, yeah.
Have you ever had banana tea, Steve? It's not
yeah.
quite what you think it should be, okay?
No, actually, it's very good. It's very good. And the skin and the skin and the fruit, so that you get magnesium from the skin and potassium from the fruit.
Yeah, it's great to do before going to sleep because of the magnesium. Yep.
And supposedly, if you boil the banana peels down, you'll get something called bananidine. I don't know if that's actually works. We did try it when I was about 18 and walked out of the Safeway with about 30 pounds of bananas at 2 o'clock in the morning. So.
That I don't know. Yeah, we dinked around with dried banana peels when I was a kid.
Yep. Smoking banana peels. Weird stuff.
I did that too. We did that too growing up, smoking banana peels. It was great. We smoked everything. Everything we could smoke, we smoked it.
I feel like the banana tea, the mascot for the banana tea needs to be a manatee in the shape of a banana. It just rings a bell. Banana. I just think of a manatee for some reason.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
The silliness.
Always silly.
That's how you get people, though. That's how you get people. The marketing, the silliness. Yeah, for sure. Makes them happy.
It's very nice, rhymy, and it's probably the kind of concept that Chris Desant would not come up with.
Yeah. I'm reminded of
you never know. He might surprise you.
I've got a composition in mind for the Salvador Dalai Lama.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a very interesting composure.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's on my list.
We should all be surprised if he didn't do that.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. All right. I'll get right on it.
No, Salvador Dali. If Dali didn't do it.
No, sorry, I didn't do it. No.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right.
I don't think the Dalai Lama was that big a thing back when Salvador was doing his thing.
Oh, now I see two Andys. And I think I heard sound. That's
Try to speak,
interesting.
Andy.
Two Andys,
And still nothing.
that is interesting.
So that must mean that she's got two browser windows open at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like a cell phone.
No, it's the same
That's really
device.
strange.
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah.
two things going.
Well,
Two
that explains
windows.
why.
So she's probably
hearing
got her
an echo.
phone and her laptop.
No. It's the same
No,
image.
no,
It's the same
no.
lens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that it's two browser windows within
Yeah.
the same device.
All right.
She's-
One is gone.
She turned off one of them.
Now try to speak.
Microphone
Yeah.
is still open, but we.
I'm
we
gonna
don't
say
hear her
good night,
yet.
guys.
All right,
I'm
buddy.
saying
Are-
goodbye.
Good night,
Good
Steve.
Are
night.
you feeling? Are
right,
you feeling any
good
better
to
about
be
stuff
here.
in general?
Oh yeah. Oh
Good.
yeah. All right. Good night.
All right, pal.
Good night,
Good to
Steve.
talk to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, see you.
I'm going to
Mwah.
Mwah. See you.
Mhm.
I'm going to leave as well. I send you guys
All right. I love you all.
Love you, Steve.
Yeah. And Andy, if you can't hear me, I look forward to meeting you at some point. Besides just an image. Night.
Night.
Orit, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave too. I send you a message in the council group, which will be weird, but please check. Okay, and let get back to me there.
Hang on. Let me just check. And while you're still here, I'd like
Okay.
to at least give you a little bit of good news or something.
Oh yes, please. You did say that you have some good news.
All right. So our call the other day with Renette, you noticed went very well. Right? You noticed great rapport, right? So,
Yes.
So there's compensation established. Okay. So that means I'm looking for used tires. And then the next thing, because I got to go up to Encinitas, I think I should get them before I go up tomorrow. So if I find 2 tires at a reasonable price, then I'll do that.
You need only 2?
The fronts are the really bad ones. It's from turning, The edges are shot. So the next thing will be looking for a well-priced laptop, so I can stop having such mediocre technological problems as I'm having right now. Because this laptop is just, I doubt it's worth repairing, So I started looking around, in the like $600 to $800 range of what's available used, which would be a lot of power, but it's really hard to choose. So I'm hoping that I will have some opportunity and people to put the word out through and get some opinions. So if anybody knows people that are pretty savvy on that, when there's almost infinite options available now, it's not easy. And then the next thing will be to see what I can do about finding someone to get my, and welcome Aza, get my breaks happening. And either way, Orit, I am expecting to be up by you around your birthday.
That's in a week.
That's in a week. Wow. Well, we'll see. See
Okay.
what we can do.
All right. Just let me know. Make sure that it doesn't overlap with my recurring guest here. And yeah.
Yeah, it's next weekend. Boy, howdy. That came up fast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Anytime. Anytime. That sounds good. Hopefully I will still have electricity because I'm right now at a risk of being disconnected. So
Ozzy,
yeah.
you know some stuff about that, don't you? Do you know people who've been successful with that? Or that was you? You were
Well, so
juggling
far
that,
I've
right?
been successful. It's not completed. Yeah, there's a method that Malika Duke uses. She doesn't pay any bills.
Do you want to
And
turn Orit
basically
on
it
to that?
says, huh?
Do you want to turn Orit on to that methodology?
Well, I would just turn her onto this website so she could listen to the video about it. Yeah.
Okay. You want to put a link in the chat?
Let me see if I can do that.
They do have a forgiveness program, which I applied to, but they're not
supposed to be
responding.
paying.
Yeah, I know. I know that aspect of it. I just never really learned how to do it. But I've applied for the forgiveness. It started with their fault actually, because they forgot to send bills for 3 months, and then it started to accumulate. But there is no one to speak to over there. I've applied. I sent a letter. And I try to call. They don't have an email to email them, and there is no one to speak to. No one. It keeps directing you back to the website. It's just ridiculous. So,
Well, have they been sending you notices that they're going to turn off your electricity?
Yeah.
When was the last notice you got?
A couple days ago, 2-3 days ago.
And what's the date that they're saying they're going to turn it off?
19th. But then I got another notice that I can't remember, but it's a later date. It's like everything else with these companies. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. So maybe someone did get my application, but I have not gotten a response yet. And once you apply, they're supposed to put everything on hold, right? Nope, nothing. So, I don't know. It's, I owe them about $1,700, and I don't have that. Oh, lost Azza.
Ouch. Well, that's not good.
Yeah. And I'm not going to ask my daughter for that. She helps me every month anyway for the mortgage. I'm determined to not ask her for that kind of money. It's just crazy.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
All right. So I saw your post. How's this back?
There she is.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. I need to make a cable go farther down to the back of my apartment so I can have internet in my bedroom. But anyway, because it's late for me when I'm on these calls and I just feel like going to sleep. So I'm kind of like in bed trying to be on the phone. But I'm sorry I was late. I know you've been guys. I've been on for a while. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, which is another story. But yeah, just to finish what I was saying to you, Arita, is that if you can get into the website, I know you know a lot of the stuff on it, but there's some free classes that she just basically wants people to understand the fundamentals. One is called As Above, So Below. It's on Rumble also. You can just get it on Rumble.
Oh, great. Under the same name?
As Above. as above, so below, but there might be another channel that, but it's with Malika Duke Lawful Living. So yeah, if you have any problems, you can certainly text me or ask Michael to ask me or something.
Okay.
But that would be the first class. It's a bunch of classes. But you get the idea of her and you get the idea of what she's talking about, which applies to everything, which is basically the fundamental thing is that all of the laws, the legal statutes, codes, rules, and regulations apply to corporations and the agents that work for them when they're on the clock. And everything else they are trying to do to us is not applicable to us. And then in terms of the other things like the utilities, they'll explain how technically they are already being paid for. The utilities, they're double dipping when we pay them.
Yeah.
And so she'll teach the whole thing. There's a lot more than that. I just don't remember it all. But there's a class in the Freedom from Government site that is called Free Utilities, and should go through all that with that class. So if you want to go directly to that, you could do that. I do believe you have to pay for that class, a minimal donation. I don't remember what it is. I have the all access paths, but that's, that's more pricey. So
Yeah.
it's just, I think it's by donation, but I'm not positive. I know that there was some talk about Malika charging a horrendous amount of money and not giving anything. And that's just so not true. I don't know who that person was or what they did.
Well, we'll talk to him about it. Let's not worry about that.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure that Reed understands that.
It's not really relevant for me because all I have right now is $200 that most of it will be spent tomorrow for food. So
yeah. Maybe someone can share that information with Orit somehow.
I mean, I can send her my letter that I wrote to the public utilities, which is basically a compilation of everything learned in the class. I mean, it'd be better for you to learn it on your own, but you could read my administrative process document if you want that.
Yeah, that might help.
Okay. So, do I have your email already?
I do not know.
We're in the group for in Power Movement. You can see her email there.
What is it? What is your email?
I found her on Rumble. It is. I'm typing it into the chat.
Orit, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I'm typing it into the chat.
Hello. I'm frozen again. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
For a minute you didn't. Everybody was frozen. Orit, what's your email?
I just typed it in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay. So how is the podcast studio going?
Estimates?
Yeah, it's coming along. We're finishing some painting, and the catch is that I have to pretty much paint and cover all the drywall and do all the texturing before I can set everything up, because we have a whole bunch of hemp coming down in the next few weeks, and I can't have any sanding going on. So there is an urgency to get it done as quick as possible, at least the exterior design, and then I just got to get all the last pieces to table, and then I can start interviewing people and kick it off. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and hopefully mid-October I should be up and running.
Sounds cool. I love it. So what can I ask you? Why is it that hemp can't be around sanding?
I'll put it like this. Well, there was a whole lot of, it is very, very, very sticky. Can't really see that, but it gets super sticky.
The flowers are super sticky.
Super sticky. The terpenes, the
Hemp
cannabis
flowers?
flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like resin.
Yeah. Oh, it's all
So that's
covered
the
with
male,
terpenes.
That's the male plant, right?
Female. So the male creates little balls, imagine that, and then the balls drop and the balls open up and they release everything all over the females. And then the little hairs that you see on cannabis actually are out there to catch the pollen because they're wind pollinators, and they shrivel back up, and then they fertilize the plant, and therefore, or not fertilize, but pollinate the plant, and then it creates seeds. So the issue is with all the terpenes and cannabinoids are these little tiny sticky balls all over everything. And if you even have like dandelion fluff, you want to get all seeds, all plants that have seeds that blow in the wind. We've got a whole lot of stuff that's covered out there, and thistles. And so they'll release, and any ash, right? If there's fires in the area, everything will get on the plant and it will actually stick to the plant. So think about that with sanding and dust, right? I've got to be done with all that. I can paint and cover all the hanging plants. That's not an issue. Just any of the finite dirty work has to be done by then. So it's good. It's pushing me to exact actions much faster than I usually do.
So can I'm sorry, I just have a curiosity.
Asa, before you continue, I'm going to bid you good night, everyone.
Good night,
you.
Orit.
Good night, Orit. I'm on.
Yes, wait. Michael is signaling wait again.
Okay, so you asked about forearms.
Yes,
So
left.
This is my left. This is my left. And were you indicating like the, because you didn't put a
Somewhere
circle
in
around
that
it,
somewhere in that area, yeah.
around here, right?
Yes.
So
Or it can be higher or lower, but yeah, somewhere there.
So now this is the.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I saw it.
This is the top, right?
Yeah, you got it right there. Yes.
So that's
okay.
not the underside. It's on the.
Somewhere in that area. It's not exact. Yeah, that's where I have it too, on kind of the border. Yes.
And it's a slightly raised, slightly reddish bump.
Yeah.
It's not black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
So
yes.
What is with that? What is with the birthmark that they're saying everybody has on the left side?
It's interesting. No one really knows exactly, but oops, I get a feedback there. But what my friend said, who sent me that thing is, here I'll read it. It's from a guy from Twitter. Somebody out there is going to say your DNA has been altered by the Anunnaki, and they placed a chip in your arm to keep track of your progress as a part of the Terraform Gaia project, to acclimate your new genetic structure, to acclimate your crystalline 5D body to receive more light codes. I don't know, and they said that it's on people who were born in the from 1990 to 2000.
I saw before 1990.
Well, in the 90s, that's what the message says.
I was born way before 1990.
That'd be none of us.
You were born, yeah. Well, no. They're saying 90s by mistake. You know, we know the 90s is the 18 something, and the 20s is the 19 something. They refer to between 1990 to 2000.
Got it.
That
No, the
millennium.
20th
Centuries.
century. The 20th century.
Right.
The
Right.
19th century. How it's a century ahead of what it really is. Yeah. Now we're in the 21st century.
Right. Right. So the 90s. The 90s, not the 19th century, the 90s. So 90 something. Yeah, I just got it as we were talking, so I haven't done any research on it at all yet. Nothing. But it's fascinating and intriguing.
Sounds
Hey,
like
as
it.
soon as
Thought.
as soon as you read light codes in a birthmark, I remember my body got a huge hug. So there must be something with that. By
Interesting.
the way, okay, I got a huge hug as soon as you were reading light codes. My body went into. I was like, okay, so there must be something that goes along with that. You must be correct about something. I don't know.
I just know that I love stuff like this, a little out there, mysterious stuff that we don't really understand. So,
Good job.
yeah. All righty.
Nattary, love you.
Good
night,
night. Love you. Is it just us now? Yeah, so I can say see you Sunday. Okay, see you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Cheers.
Bye, Arit. I'm looking for the
Bye.
document right now.
Thank you, Azza. Thank you for your suggestions.
Okay, yeah, feel free to call me or check in with me if you need
Okay.
help.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Excuse me.
Azza, I put a link to the Rumble video that I found based on your phrasing. Were you able to check it?
I'll check it right now. I like how you do that, Michael. As soon as you hear something, you go on it and get it. You did that the other night on that call, and I end up listening to some of that.
Oh,
it was
good.
really good. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Somebody's got to
Because
do
I
it.
asked you for it again, and then I found it. Yep, that's it.
Cool.
That's correct. You're going to see it's many hours because it's.
No matter what you do, somebody will be disappointed. Like Marie will say, "You're disconnected from us. You're not looking at us." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm being the technical producer here also." So
Yeah.
Joe Rogan gets to say, "Look that up for me," Johnny or whatever, and somebody else finds it and puts it up on screen. I don't have that somebody else yet.
That's it. That's that key word yet. It's all coming.
Yep.
It's all coming.
Yeah. So I know I've said it so many times before, and I made it a little bit more formal with Chris, but I really feel we will benefit individually and collectively by having each one of us say and make a video saying, "I'm a mankinder, and this is what that means to me. This is what a mankinder world looks like to me. How about you?" Because it'll then it'll form a patchwork quilt that is more appealing than just one color, and it'll resonate with different people in different ways, and it'll prove that there is huge resistance to the monopolistic control structures of the corporatocracy, because we will contradict everything they claim just by nature. Right?
But you don't know how to self-govern, Michael. How dare you think that you don't need the government to tell you how to behave yourself? That would be their contradiction.
I don't know how to self-govern sometimes. Sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know how to self-govern sometimes either, so it's okay.
And
It's
neither
really
do
okay.
they.
That's right.
They can't
I
even
have
govern
some tact there.
themselves, let alone govern America.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Somebody out there knows how to run the world better than the corporatocracy.
The communities know how to better run the world. Yeah.
That's right.
A community knows how to run the world.
Did you or
That's
anybody
what
else
it
get
used
to
to
look
be,
at
you know.
that?
What was that?
Sorry, say again.
Excuse me.
What was that, Michael?
No, you go ahead.
Got it. Invite? Evite?
Angela, did you or anyone else get to look at that One Small Town website?
I did. I looked at that a little bit, and I sent it off to some people on the incorporation board. They're very happy with it.
Yeah.
They're very excited about it. Actually,
Wow.
all very. We're excited. Yeah, of course. I keep telling you, that's who I am. I'm a promoter of things I actually have a heart into. If people get excited about that, so they just don't say no. They check it out. So yeah, that's who I am. Great. I give you the tools to work with. What you do with them is on your own, but I'll give you the tools.
Right.
So yeah, they're excited about it. I actually gave it to another lady today. I actually went to a Mary Kay luncheon today with some ladies, and it was actually quite nice. I went all the way into Mesa. We carpooled. So I need to get. That's why I was asking you about the emails, because I have some people that don't even know anything about Save Our Skies. They don't know anything about the stuff that's going on in the environment. They don't know anything about the mosquito thing, and they're interested. They want to know more. So that's part of what I do too. Is I promote things like that. So that's why I was wondering if you had an email that I could, a cohesive email, and if not, that's okay. I can create one, you know what I mean, and send them some information on Save Our Skies, on Empower Movement, on, because they want to know. I was telling them about my podcast and, doing this with you guys, and they're very, very curious about it. And these are the type of people that you send them things like that. They're going to read it and they're going to go, all right, I'm in for this. And they're living in communities to where I can go set up a table and do lots of other things. You know what I'm saying? This is, because there's too many people in this world that aren't going on the internet, that aren't listening to the podcast, that aren't doing the websites without somebody like me walking up to them and saying, hey, have you heard about this? And then they're like, no, I haven't heard anything. And so I have, I don't know, probably about 20 people I need to get an email together and send out, at least, that are curious about it right now.
And Angela, right now is a really good time. We're all going to notice this. I think right now is a really good time to share information with people because as they see, if anybody's paying attention to politics, they're getting to see how much the media blatantly lies to their face. And a lot of the lies are coming out immediately within that day or the next day. And I think that's going to start creating that cognitive dissonance, or just that fracture in a lot of people's minds of interest of things just don't seem how I thought they were. What else is going on? That's going on. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. It's a truth. And I come across people with such a different demeanor and in a different way that I come across people. They're like, oh, well, this lady's not lying to me about this stuff. What other information you got to give me? What else can you tell me? What else? And they become sponges, and they just want more and more and more and more, which is great. I'm not complaining about that one bit. Yeah. Yeah, and it's happening all the time. I've been telling people about this stuff for years. You know what I mean? I'm telling them they're doing this, and this is what's happening to the church, and this is what's happening. People didn't want to believe me, but now they're believing me. I'm like, oh, thank God. So, which is good.
Yeah, I've been wanting for years to put together, and I wasn't going to try doing it myself, so we needed to have a support team. Now we do. And it would be a sequence of questions that would start from, have you ever noticed that some people lie. Right? And then you just go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, through the why and the who, right? So who are the people that lie? Why do they lie? What do they lie about? How do they get away with it? Okay. So then have you noticed, did you hear about televisions not obligated to lie or, tell the truth? Just go through it and then demonstrate where the biggest fines have been, who the biggest liars have been, And it would unravel pretty quickly if someone were just able to follow it. And just keep it really, really simple.
Hey,
Short
just
phrases.
take me around and show me the picture.
Short
Take me
phrases.
around. Give me a crew to work with. Give me a community. Give me a crew to research this stuff. Just give me the websites. Show me the picture. Nope, they're not good. Okay, this one's good. Yep, that one. Real quick and easy.
Well, see that's the kind of thing, like Angela, you listened to Renette the other night, and Asmith,
I did.
Did you see any of it?
I was there. I wasn't there that night. I was there that morning, so I didn't hear what was going on at the night call.
So, Angela, what was your perception of the ask? What was the to-do list at the, what was the punchline? What were people being asked?
What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to come back to me with ideas of how we're going to do this? How are we going to create this stuff? We don't want to just sit
No,
here
you're
and
not
talk
answering
for the
my
next 2
question,
years.
dear heart. I'm sorry if I was unclear with my question. From your perception of our interview with Renette, that I co-hosted her with the and it could be either one, the one that was her on with us or her with her SOS swarm, right? That it was just her and me and Catherine on screen. So of either of them, what was the punchline? I'm asking you to tell me, what was the ask? What were people being suggested to do?
To get on Empower so they can get the NOLs out by October 10th.
Right. Now, do you feel the message was clear in terms of what they would get out of that and how it would work and how it would benefit them?
It's shutting the stuff. Yeah, I got the message clear from her that this is how it's going to work. This is how we're going to stop things. This is how we're going to shut stuff down. This is how we're going to, get people notified. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We need more than
from my perspective, I don't think the messaging was as clear as it could be.
Yeah, she could have been a little bit clearer. I got it, but I have an intuitive reader, okay? So even though they're saying the words,
I'm asking for that. Yeah, your reaction doesn't matter, dear. Okay, because what we're trying to do is assess the general audiences. We're trying to assess the general audience.
But the general audience
calmly.
The general audience reaction, she needs to be just a little bit more explicit. I get where she's coming up. She wants to have these NOLs mailed out by October 10th. You know what I mean? But how do you do that? How do you get this promoted? How do you know what I mean? I get where she's coming from, She needs to,
unfortunately,
October 4th is, you need, I don't know how to have her adjust that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I think that's,
I don't know how.
And that's why I'm a little overwhelmed because what I need to do is go through all the material that's been presented and select the best snippets of what's been said and then figure out what I think is missing and try to create content that fills in those gaps, possibly with visuals, because I didn't see a slideshow. I didn't see a show and tell. I don't hear the the real WIIFM, what's in it for me, in the details of the how it works. So my reaction was, it's such a big community and it's so fun and there's so much information in there, because I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm dazzled.
Yeah. I haven't figured it out either. I haven't taken time to sit down and take time to go through all that either. And I get kind of busy some days.
Yeah.
And some days I have to rest. I'm sorry, but with being the
Don't
intuitive and the way that I am.
Don't be sorry for resting. I apologize for resting.
I can't. I don't even want to get out of bed right now. I am so exhausted and so tired. So, a lot of days I can make myself do it, but it doesn't do me no good. Every once in a while, I gotta rest. So, especially with all these light codes and the energy shifting, we're going into Virgo with a Pisces moon, for goodness sakes. That is all me. I'm a Virgo with a Pisces rising, for goodness sakes. And we got a lunar eclipse coming up next week, and I am, my stuff is really off the charts right now. Not only is all the stuff, all the exterior stuff going on, all of my healing stuff on the inside that I haven't finished up or conquered or whatever, that's all coming up to the surface too, real quick and fast. So that's a whole nother aspect, to stay positive and not get stuck in that emotional stuff there too. So everyone, I gotta sit and cry once in a while, or I gotta sit and scream, or I get to do that too. So I'm healing all of that stuff too. So it's definitely interesting. This energy shift that's going on right now is, to put it lightly, it's something else. Yep. Something else. And there's tons of light codes coming in. There's been some things that have come and visited me. I've had some very amazing visions. I've had nature is even getting more intrinsic on me. I actually can go outside and I can sit with the ants. They crawl all over my village and none of them bite me. I had a hummingbird. Yeah, Michael. I'm serious.
So what did
yeah,
you say?
It's getting
they
even
crawl on you and don't like you?
They don't bite me.
Oh, don't bite you.
They don't bite me.
Did you say firing?
Yeah, I think they like going for a flight. Yes. Oh, yes. Fire ants, sugar ants, black ants. I've had all of them. I've stood on their nest and I've had them crawling up my legs. And I was like, please don't bite me. And they're like, okay, we won't. They just crawl around. And I think they like going for a flight because I kind of give them a little light toss, and they like to fly. So then the next one will come up and that one likes to fly. So I've had numerous spiders crawl on me lately and say hello and crawl up my arms. I had bees come and visit and clean themselves on me while I sit there and watch. Very, very interesting things I've been having happen to me in the last few days. So the birds are coming closer to me and the trees are reaching down and giving me hugs. So it's very interesting to be having all of that matrix going on with the matrix of me healing and the matrix of the outside world influences and deciphering sucks. So, let's just go with that. The person driving the car today is a good friend of my husband's friend, and I'm pretty sure he has cancer in his stomach, and I could feel that instantaneously as soon as I came in their aura today. So that my stomach today. That was a whole new thing that was clouding my stomach today, and it's one of those, yeah. So it's different. It's really different, you know. Can you hear? We can't hear it. You're mute.
I'm still here. I can't hear him. If he's saying anything.
I can't hear him either. Yeah, I know. I can't hear. I'm trying to sign language too. I can't hear him either. No, that's been an interesting clout, you know. It finally, that his energy was finally able to leave my body after I came home, after they dropped me off at the driveway, and I'm walking down the driveway, and I'm like, man, this is not mine. Oh my gosh, Art, that hurts so bad. You get the good with the bad, you know.
Everything.
And it's not something you can ignore. Yeah, you can't ignore it. So I used to take all of those things in, and all of a sudden I'd be thinking there's something wrong with me, and I'd be like, oh my God, what's going on with my stomach? Oh my God, what's going on with my arm? Oh my God, what's going on with, you know what I mean? You almost turn into a hypochondriac until you figure out that it's not your energy that you're feeling. So, and then once you figure that out, you can figure out a way to release it, you know, say thank you for allowing me to feel it, but then let it go. It's a process. It's a huge process. That's for sure. It's very unique. Your hands are going to be all sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I miss that. If you want to know the truth, Asmith, I miss that. I miss working with plants, and you know, I'm not that I don't here, but it's not quite the same. So. You can hear us? No, we can't hear you. Nothing. Getting it figured out there. That's good. I can't. I'm pretty good at reading lips, but you know, it's been a while. I can't hear you, Michael. Okay, you get it. You get it.
I forgot to add that camera to the stage. Hello. Duh.
And there you go. It's okay. You're all good.
I was talking from backstage.
We knew you'd figure it out. Anyway, it's okay.
I've done that before because I'm looking at the, you know, I see the image on screen, but it's not coming from that device.
Yeah.
Stupid. Let me try this other one.
Okay.
Test you out.
You're going to test me out, okay.
So that, now you're hearing me through the built-in microphone. This is the cheap adapter.
Okay.
That's a cheap adapter.
Oh. Yeah, that's too cheap of an adapter.
Dropped out. It dropped out. Yeah. It drops out.
Yeah, that's too cheap of an adapter.
Yeah. Right. Is it audible? Drops out.
It's got a lag, but it's audible. Yeah.
It's the actual Apple adapter that's more expensive. It's like $7 or $8. The interesting thing
Okay,
is,
there you are.
notice, I don't know if you can tell, the Apple, no, you can't really tell, but the Apple adapter is on your left. It's thinner. It's flimsier.
Yeah, it is.
Right? The other one is stiff. The Apple is flimsy. It feels like it's going to wear out in a minute, you know? More expensive, flimsier, but it works. Did you return your headset or your
I'm
microphones?
going to. Yeah. I'm going to. Yeah. I gotta
Right,
get.
don't miss the
I gotta
deadline.
send that. I need to send the label to Amy or what? Well, maybe I can
Don't
have him
miss
pick
the
it up from you.
deadline, you know, because the thing is that there's, I've done a return before. I hate returns. But
Yeah, I'm not a big
Amazon
fan either.
returns,
Can.
Amazon returns, you can take them back to certain stores.
Yeah, if you have a car.
So, right. There's that.
Yeah, if you have a car or if you live in the city where I could take a bus, sure, Michael, no problem. I got 2 feet that are doing quite well, though, you know?
Yeah.
The mechanics were supposed to go get my car on Tuesday. Nobody showed up yet, and they haven't contacted me. My car's still sitting at Amy's, so.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, her husband texted me today. He goes, I found a cord for the electric bike that I have. He found one. The cheapest one he found is $75 for a cord.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the electric bike that I acquired is quite expensive, actually. But the cord itself is $75. And I thought, okay, that's the one he found. I haven't looked yet myself personally to see if I could find a cord yet. I'm usually pretty good at finding stuff. I just haven't looked personally myself. So I have that going in the burner there, but I'm gonna have to get my car out of Amy's driveway. You know what I mean? Her husband texted, "Hey, I don't want this car sitting here till Halloween." You know, so I don't know. I'll figure something out. I have to get a hold of somebody and either bring it over here and let it sit here until the mechanics come get it or something. You know.
Yep.
Something or other. I might be able to go over there and mess with it and see if I can get it run into at least drive it over here too myself. Who knows? I don't know yet. I'm just tired of working on all that stuff. I've been doing that crime and alley my whole freaking life and fixing vehicles and motors and you know what I mean, all that kind of good stuff. And I'm just getting to the point to where I'm like, where the fuck is my money so I can just have a good goddamn vehicle and be done with this shit. So I'm getting to that point right now. I want my life to be easier. I just want to be able to hop in a damn car and go. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's time for my life to be easier. So,
yeah,
I'll figure it out. I'm going to go in. But it really is time for my life to be easier.
Have you started pulling your email databases together?
I have. I told you. I have.
How's it going? What's the story?
I have a list started already. People are curious about Save Our Skies. They're curious about the Empower movement. They're curious about the NOLs. They want to know. I talked to people and I said, well, how the hell am I going to? So I started getting stuff together. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, I meant your mailing lists from your previous projects.
Oh, yeah, those mailing lists. The funny thing is I never saved anybody's information in email.
Well, do you have access to those email accounts? Because you can just pull it out of there.
Yeah, I can type in the password. I have the passwords here, I'm sure.
Right. So if you just Google it, download email database from Gmail. You'll see how to do it. You can pull everybody you've ever emailed out of Gmail. It's all in there. You just haven't turned it into a database.
Yeah, I just need to turn it into a database. Anybody I've ever emailed. And I'm telling you what, there's a lot of county connections and stuff like that in there because I've emailed the government.
That's what I'm saying. Some of them you don't want to.
I really have.
You know?
I really have. You know, I mean, these are like government work. So.
Yeah. Some of them you don't want to.
I spent a lot of time. No, some of them you do not. Some of them you do want to contact. You know, I have a really great lady, Janet. She does the records for Maricopa County, and she is amazing. If you want any information about Maricopa County, let me know, and I'll get a hold of Janet, and she'll get it. She's an amazing woman. She got me information when she wasn't supposed to. I'm sorry. Well, it's public information, you know what I mean? She just helped me acquire it without me going through the whole public thingamajiggy to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She's an amazing woman. Amazing woman. Beautiful, amazing woman. And that's what they're there for. They're there to help the public get information. Kind of like a librarian.
Yeah.
You know, she does her job, and especially if you're kind to them, they're a lot easier to work with.
There you go.
So,
well, all right. I'm going to wrap this up. Let you guys move on.
now I think I'm going to rest and do some meditation, maybe watch some videos. I don't know. I don't know that mark. I got that mark too. It's in there. I got birthmark too.
Oh, yeah.
One more thing to add, right? They say I have the M on my hand. I got O negative blood, you know, all that criminality.
It's interesting.
Yep. I know, huh? It is interesting.
What's our source?
It's all,
What's our program?
all right. Mine is, yeah, it's, I don't know. Get over my own crime and stop letting myself get in my way.
Crucial for everybody.
Oh. Stop letting myself get away. I gave away some incense today. I gave a lady some incense. I thought everybody knew how to use incense, and this lady didn't. And she was like, "How do I use these?" And I was like, "Wow, that's new to me. I didn't realize that. You know, I figured everybody knew how to use that." No. I figured out some new things we should go. I might be going to some 55 plus communities and bringing things to their community as well.
Cool.
They have these huge communities that, you know, RVs and all this other stuff. So I don't know.
All right,
I'll
sweetie.
figure it out.
I'm going to let you go. Buona notte.
All right.
Onward and upward.
Hey,
Love and gratitude to you both.
Later, guys.
He's running.
you know, I'm always listening.
Hey,
That's
good
why
night,
I show up.
Asmund.
So. Later,
You're
guys.
a
Love you.
You're a
Thank
rock
you.
star.
I know,
Thank
we
you,
know.
brother.
Thank you.
Cheers.